They just keep chipping away, and it's kind of neat to see Buddy direct the team the way he's doing it.
It's been an awful year so far for the New England Patriots with that 1-6 start, and they got a scare on Thursday that may carry over into this afternoon's contest. Steve Grogan missing practice with back spasms.
Well, when I went over and talked to Steve before the game, I said, "How you feeling?" He said, "I'm feeling old." And Steve is an old quarterback, and he's the type of guy that he's great to have on your bench if your first-string quarterback comes down, because you know he's going to come in and not make any mistakes. But by him trying to lead this football team at his age and his physical abilities at this point, it just shows that they have a major weakness at quarterback. Not only quarterback, but also offensive line.
Yeah, you're right about the offensive line. It doesn't help to have a quarterback that's not 100% and an offensive line that's really not performing.
Well, one of the things that they want to do to try to take the pressure off Grogan is go to big John Stevens. John Stevens is one of the finest running backs in the business. And what you want to do if you're having problems, you want to just make it basic. Hand the ball off to John Stevens and hope that he can carry you through.
So we're ready to go from Veterans Stadium. Ruzick has it teed up. And we're underway. The AFC East and the NFC East getting together. And bringing it back for the New England Patriots. Taking it up to the 25-yard line. It's Marvin Allen, the reserve running back, in his third year out of Tulane. Brought down by Ricky Shaw. So Steve Grogan will get the start after all, Ahmad, even though he said his shoulder was still bothering him during pregame warm-ups. Armstrong, their best offensive lineman, without a doubt. Gamble and Johnson, the two guards, Plan B signings. And the offensive backfield, John Stevens, but it hasn't been that phenomenal of a year for Stevens, despite the fact that he's 6th in the AFC in rushing. Still, they're only averaging 80 yards a game on the ground. McMurtry, Martin, the extra wide receivers coming in to join Fryer and Jones when they go to the 4 wideout alignment. New England throwing on first down, and Grogan overshooting his intended target, Eric Sievers, the tight end. Defensively, and a major change in the starting lineup today in the front 4. Jerome Brown has an injured left bicep. He almost worked with one arm, as they were telling us, against Dallas last week. So Cecil Gray, who's usually on the offensive line, Ahmad, gets the start. And we'll get to that next 7 for the Eagles as John Stevens is wrapped up after only a gain of a yard across the 25 to the 26. Let's look at that group of linebackers for the Philadelphia Eagles. We already saw the linebackers, the time alignment now for Zell and Jenkins joining the regular foursome in the secondary. And Ben Smith, once again for the second straight week, is going to get the start at cornerback as opposed to free safety. Well, they'll go with Wes Hopkins. 3rd and 9 now for Grogan. Going deep, has a man wide open and overthrows Cedric Jones. Well, that has been the story. The first possession of the year has been a real problem for the New England Patriots. Only once this year over their first 7 games have they even been able to pick up 1 first down the first time they touched the ball. And today, no different story.
Well, they had a chance to make a big play on that last one, and Grogan just a little bit long on the pass to Cedric Jones. And Grogan with that Elvis Presley type collar around his neck for preventive measures. He has had surgery on his neck.
Hansen with pressure gets it away, but it's a short one. Marvin Hargrove will stay away from it as it takes a New England bounce. And that'll help the average of the 4th best punter coming in the AFC, Brian Hansen, all the way inside the 20. Eagle fans do not like the way he stayed away from the ball and didn't try to hold on to it for a fair catch to save a good 15-20 yards. Offensively, the offensive line, you might remember last year, Ron Heller was the starting right tackle. This year, he's on the left side for the Philadelphia Eagles. David Alexander anchoring things up the middle. Out of the backfield, Heath Sherman getting the start instead of Anthony Toney, one of the 2 inactives today for the Eagles, as Toney has a groin injury. And when they go to the extra wide receiver, Kenny Jackson, the wideout coming in. Keith Jackson, the tight end, stays in the contest. Heath Sherman getting the call, and good yardage, about 5 up to the 21-yard line. They like Sherman. They feel that he's maybe even be a little bit quicker off the ball than Anthony Toney.
They talk about all their running backs being able to do a lot of different things, but they say Heath may be the best runner of the group.
Defensive front 7, the strength right there, the linebacking group with Andre Tippett leading the way, and Chris Singleton, the rookie from Arizona, also getting the start today on the outside. In the secondary, a lot of experience back there for New England, but they've been very, very inconsistent this year. Cunningham throwing. Goad putting on pressure. It's Sherman on the dump off near the first down marker. Stretched it out near the 26-yard line.
And Joel, you mentioned at the top of the show about Randall Cunningham reading defenses. There you saw him not be able to find his primary receiver. He just kind of regroups and finds Heath Sherman. Watch Cunningham roll a little bit to the right. They like to roll him out a little bit. Now he can't find his first receiver. Now he's looking for his safety valve. Finds him. Heath Sherman showing that not only does he run the ball well, but he's got fine hands as a receiver.
So a lot of patience displayed there by Randall Cunningham. I thought it was interesting when we talked with Rich Kotite. He did not compare Randall Cunningham to Fran Tarkington, which is the obvious analysis. But he brought up Roger Staubach because he said Staubach was so good at making his reads and knowing when to release.
I think that Staubach is a better example because Staubach ran the ball north and south. But if you looked at early footage of Fran Tarkington, when he would run the ball, he was a very dynamic runner. As he got older, he would just scramble around to find time to throw the ball. But Roger and Randall Cunningham are guys that if they can't find a receiver open, they can run as well as a halfback.
So the Philadelphia Eagles start with it back at their own 16. Now they're facing 3rd and inches in the opening minutes of the contest. No score thus far. Eagles trying to get to the 500 mark for the very first time this year. You might remember they started out at 0-2, losing to the Giants, and right here at home to the Phoenix Cardinals. Byers is the motion man, moving on the line, and it appears that it may be a free down for the Philadelphia Eagles and a first down. But were the Patriots drawn off? Our official today, our referee, is Dick Antak.
Encroachment, defense, number 72, 5-yard penalty, first down.
They call it on Tim Goad, the nose tackle in his 3rd year from North Carolina.
You'll see Tim Goad right in the middle of your screen as Byers goes in motion. Just a little bit too soon, and Andre Tippett comes across the line of scrimmage. And those are the kind of mental errors that have been just dogging this New England football team. You can't just give up that first down. Make them earn it.
Cunningham throwing on first down with time and with Keith Jackson. It's another first down for the Eagles. But if there's been one thing missing from the Philadelphia Eagles attack this year, it's been that one game you see consistently from Keith Jackson with 8 or 10 catches.
They have changed their offense around. Keith Jackson is now running patterns further down the field. There's a very nice evasive tactic there by Keith Jackson, and you notice that Randall Cunningham puts that ball right on the mark, threw it right between 2 defenders. Keith Jackson will not catch as many balls as he's caught in the past, but he will have a higher yards per catch average, which is something that will really help this offense.
Calvin Williams in motion, setting up on the same side as Arkansas Fred Barnett. Byers, little razzle-dazzle. Back to Cunningham. He's got a wide-open Calvin Williams downfield. He takes it in and can't hold on. Had it, but dropped it at the 8. And with the Patriots, secondary in particular, fooled on that play.
You practice all week for one situation to get this play off. You can never run it again. It's just a play here where he hands it off to Byers, throws it back to Cunningham. Now Barnett is wide open. Calvin Williams is wide open. This ball is up in the air quite a long time. Those sometimes are the hardest ones to catch because you end up looking at it for so long.
Calvin Williams, the rookie from Purdue, a 5th-round draft choice. 2nd and 10. Heath Sherman slithering his way across the midfield stripe. A little bit better than 3 on the carry.
And you notice after Calvin Williams dropped that ball, nobody was yelling at him or jumping on him. The first guy to meet him on the sideline was his offensive coach and coordinator, Rich Kotite, gave him a little pat on the head because you got to keep a guy like that into the game. You drop a ball like that early, you got to come back and catch the next one. You can't brood on it very long. He'll get another chance.
It's now 3rd and 7. Ball just inching inside New England territory for Cunningham, who's ready to throw once again. Look for a seam. That wasn't there. Pressure from behind. Does he feel it in time? Yes, he did. He got the first down, I believe. He is at the marker. It depends upon the spot. And they put him down inside the 43. It will be enough for another Eagle first down. Sensing that pressure.
Randall Cunningham has such maneuverability. that a word, maneuverability?
I like it.
All right, that's what he's got because he was running. Watch here. He's little handoff, fake handoff. Now watch him decide to run. No, come out of it, and then just take off around in. Andre Tippett said the guy is so fast that he's very hard to judge. It looks like he's just loping along, but nobody can catch him.
He felt that backside pressure from Chris Singleton and took off just in the nick of time. Almost stumbled trying to get the handoff to Heath Sherman. That could have been a disaster for Cunningham and the Eagles, as he was just barely hanging onto the ball. Instead, it turns into a 4-yard gain with Tim Goen making the stop.
Keith Byers is one of the best all-around players in football. You see, they got him lined up here at tight end, and he's blocking. I was talking to Buddy Ryan the other day. He said, you know, one of the greatest all-around backs that I've ever been around is Chuck Foreman. I said, you know, Buddy, I agree with you. He said Keith Byers is better. Does everything. Can run, block, catch, probably can tackle.
Cunningham going to his wideout, Fred Barnett. And Ronnie Lepet hangs on, as Barnett will be just a little less than a yard short of the first down marker.
Fred Barnett, a young receiver, averaging 19 yards a catch. Anytime that you're running ball, you never want to catch a ball and have it be third down and a foot. You got to at least run the pattern, the distance of the first down. That's something that you learn as you get older. And they are very excited about their wide receivers here in Philadelphia.
Oh, the injury to Mike Quick. The rookies are really coming to the forefront.
They really are excited. Fred Barnett, they tell us he is just a dynamic blocker.
Third and less than a yard with Byers in motion. And Cunningham will do it himself. He's got the first down to the 31-yard line. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles have dropped some close games this year. Their 4 losses by a total of 16 points. So you could say, well, they could possibly have a better record. But don't forget, 2 of their 3 wins came by a total of 7 points. And last week, the perfect example, winning by 1 at Dallas.
Well, talking to Buddy Ryan about it, he said the good thing about it, they were in every one of these ball games and had a chance to win them. As the season goes along, things seem to even out. And if you can take care of those problems early, then this last half of the season, you're in pretty good shape.
First and 10, opening drive of the day, an impressive one for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nice balance of run and pass, and Cunningham throws it away. And a flag goes down. His hand tack, maybe calling him for grounding. He is. It'll be a loss of down.
It looked to me like there was a receiver in the area. It looked like Heath Sherman was there. Maybe the flag was thrown on the way he threw the ball.
Intentional grounding on number 12 on the offense. That is a loss of down. Second down.
Now we'll watch Cunningham roll out to his right. And watch Heath Sherman. There's Cunningham running. There's Heath Sherman right here. I guess he's not. The ball's thrown right by him.
Dick Antak, very decisive, threw the flag immediately.
It might have been the emotion. It looked like he was just throwing it away, but actually the ball went right by a player.
From the point of the infraction, the mark-off, loss of down, 2nd and 22. Pressure on Cunningham, setting it up for Heath Sherman. Beat the outside linebacker Singleton, and I believe he's got enough for the first down. Yes, he does, to the 16-yard line.
There you see Randall Cunningham. Watch this. He feels the pressure, and he doesn't panic. He knows he's going to get hit. Lets this ball off to Heath Sherman, hits him right on the numbers, and Heath Sherman just rambles down the sideline, punishing Fred Marion before going out of bounds.
I would think they'd like to have that matchup all day long, Ahmad, the outside linebacker on the running back.
Anytime you have that, it's a mismatch, and you got to immediately get the ball to the running back. And that's when you talked about Randall Cunningham reading defenses. When he finds that, he gets the ball to the right guy.
Sherman with a huge hole up the middle. He goes, still on his feet, inside the 5 where it's 1st and goal.
The way that you can tell that the offensive line is blowing people off the line of scrimmage is when the linebackers have to make all the tackles. There's Heath Sherman, a very nice cutback. Here he breaks another tackle by Fred Marion and just keeps driving towards the goal line. Excellent line blocking, excellent running.
Good blocking up front. And now 1st and goal inside the 3. Byers gets the call. Check that, Roger Vick, not Keith Byers. in his 4th year from Texas A&M, the former New York Jet. He is just short of the goal line.
I talked to Roger yesterday in the locker room. I said, you know, you look like a guy who's died and went to heaven. He said, you're right. At the Jets, he wasn't getting a chance to play. And now all of a sudden he's got on a team that has a chance to win it all. They do have that chance. And that's all you ask for as a player, is if we have a chance to compete with the best.
His drive started all the way back at the Eagles' 16-yard line. Sherman and Vick split in the backfield. Cunningham dives. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. There is a flag down on the play, though.
If that flag is against Philadelphia, Buddy Ryan will have more gray hair than he already has. How do you make a mistake on a quarterback sneak?
We had a false start by the offense. Number 66. There is no play. It's a 5-yard penalty. It is still 2nd down.
It's called on a very experienced right guard, Ron Sold, who came over from the Indianapolis Colts a couple of years ago.
And if you can watch the interior part of the line, they're just a little teeny bit like he had anticipated the snap count a little bit, but those are the kind of things you got to have, that patience, that discipline to hold it in down there on a play like that. It's just a simple fire out play. There should not be any mistake on it.
So now it's outside of the 5 on this 15th play. The opening drive of the day for the Eagles. Cunningham, with pressure coming, throws it away over the head of Fred Barnett.
That penalty was a big penalty. They had a chance to go in and get a score. Now all of a sudden they're back out near the 5-yard line and got to come up with a positive play. It will be some sort of a mental victory if New England can keep them to a field goal.
Randall Cunningham told us yesterday they've really been killing themselves with little mistakes just like that. And that's why he's felt, even though they've had a couple of decent games offensively, they have still not put it all together. 3rd and goal outside the 5. Cunningham with plenty of time, but now it collapses. And Andre Tippett with the first sack of the day for the New England Patriots. So what a costly move by the right guard, Ron Soltz.
One of the keys to beating a team like New England, you got to jump on top of them early on in the game and let them know they can't win the game. Anytime that you get in a situation like this where they're sacking your quarterback, as you see Andre Tippett do right here, they really feel like they can win the football game.
Ruzek with the chip shot field goal. He hits it from 27 yards out. And we'll be right back as the Eagles look impressive but have to settle for 3. An individual who's got to feel miserable right now is right guard Ron Sold for the Philadelphia Eagles, costing his team a certain 6 points as Randall Cunningham was in the end zone, but it was taken away because he moved too early.
And in a play like that, there's really no reason for going offsides. It's a basic play where everybody's just firing straight ahead. I mean, it wasn't a very complicated play, but you know, you look at this team, they've got more yards than any other team in football besides the San Francisco 49ers, but they haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone like they want to. And it's mistakes like that that you end up getting 3 points instead of 6. Mental errors, and those are things that Buddy Ryan does not stand for.
So that really kills the momentum they had when you consider they held on to the ball better than 7.5 minutes for 15 plays.
It really does. You know, all of a sudden you take the ball all the way down the field and then you don't finish. You gotta finish it strong.
Ruzek kicking it in the direction of Sammy Martin, one of the quickest members of the New England Patriot team. And he is spun down, crossing the 25 to the 26 by Terry Hogue, the reserve safety. So the Patriots get it for the 2nd time this afternoon. Decent field position. They started their last drive, their first of the day, at the 25. This time it's at the 26. Well, if you're wondering how bad it's been for the Patriots back in the Boston area this year, when they played the Dolphins, Ahmad, in a primetime game on October 18th, the Patriots finished 4th in the ratings behind the Cosby Show, The Simpsons, and a debate between two gubernatorial candidates. So definitely in that Rodney Dangerfield kind of mood.
I don't know, 3 pretty good shows, Joe. three pretty good shows.
What about that governor's race? A gain of 4 for John Stevens as we update you now on scores around the NFL. No score quite yet in the big matchup in Kansas City.
Green Bay coming on strong. They're leading San Francisco like a lot of other teams have done so far this year. The trick is to lead them at the end of the game, which not many has been able to do.
New Orleans with an early touchdown on Cincinnati.
And Detroit also early touchdown.
2nd and 6 for Grogan, who's throwing. Flags down, and so is John Stevens. What a play by Andre Waters, the strong safety. And the call going against the New England Patriots, which you'd have to think would be declined by the Eagles.
A great play by Andre Waters, who is an excellent safety.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Here you see Grogan here setting up this screen. Here comes everybody, throws it out, but Andre Waters is not fooled and makes a great open field tackle on one of the best running backs in the league. Andre Waters, a very strong, aggressive football player. And there you say, I'm an animal, a beast, I admit it. I've learned to use it to my advantage. I now have people who are afraid of me. And off the field, he is nothing like that. One of the nicest guys you want to meet. I spoke to him. You know, he's not talking to the press.
Right.
I guess I wasn't the press yesterday, but we had a chance to talk, and he really is a nice man. He just plays the game of football
Encroachment.
very hard.
Defense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Was called on Cecil Gray, who's subbing on the defensive side today for Jerome Brown. He's normally an offensive lineman.
Well, Cecil Gray has his work cut out for him. As you say, he's normally an offensive lineman, and also he's a rookie. And Grogan, having all that experience there, has a chance to pull him off. We'll get back to Andre Waters in a minute.
3rd and 8 now for the Patriots, looking for the first down. Under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Grogan with pressure coming, finds Irving Fryar, but it's a little bit short. He's working with the quarterback, Ben Smith. Well, Ahmad, when you talked to Andre Waters yesterday, and he has said that he's not talking with the media, but you did corral him in the locker room. He mentioned that he really is upset, isn't he, over one of the announcers, one of the other networks, saying he was a cheap shot artist.
And not only that, he felt like the announcer was making personal attacks on his personality, and it's not true. He said he's a guy, I play as hard as I can. I'm in a very violent football game, and I'm not out to try to really hurt anybody. They make me out like I'm some sort of an assassin, and I don't have that in my heart at all. I just go out to play as hard as I can.
Marvin Allen with the fumble recovery, as Marvin Hargrove did not call for the fair catch, and as soon as he touched the ball, he took quite a shot from the New England Patriots. So the last time they needed a fair catch, he didn't call for it. This time he might have wanted to call for that fair catch.
And he trips a little bit, stumbling back trying to get the ball, and the ball hits him right in the breadbasket and bounces right out, and Allen's right on top of it. Watch this little stumble, a little bit of a stumble. Catching a punt is one of the hardest things a person could ever attempt to do in the National Football League. I remember when I was playing, they tried to make me a punt returner, and I went out and dropped about 8 of them so I could hurry up and get off that punt return team.
So you tanked it immediately.
Immediately.
It's inside the 24. 1st and 10. John Stevens getting the call and taking quite a pop after a gain of a couple. Inside the 22.
In terms of momentum, I mentioned earlier that the thing that the Philadelphia Eagles want to do, they got to shut down this New England team right away. New England at 1-6, as you take a look at Hargrove, who's saying, you know, I thought I had it, but I guess I didn't. But you got to stop this New England team. They do have some players, and they are professional football players, and I think this is sort of a gut check. At 1-6, you got to show the rest of the league that we're still professionals.
Obviously, the pride factor takes over. Grogan, the 3-step drop. Going for Marv Cook, and it's almost intercepted. Andre Waters almost came up with it. He timed it perfectly, stepping right in front of the tight end.
Andre Waters played this perfectly. You see Grogan trying to go to the outside, one pump, and then tries to fire it inside. And here comes Waters from the backside and knock that ball down. Andre Waters, a tough player, and he said, you know, they try to make me out like Jack Tatum. And I said, you know what? Jack Tatum was not a dirty ball player. He was just a hard-nosed player, a lot like Andre Waters.
3rd and 8. Grogan with pressure going for Cedric Jones. He's all tangled up, turning around. Eric Allen providing the coverages. Byron Evans leveled Grogan in the backfield. So still no first down for the New England Patriots, but now an opportunity to tie it up.
Watch Byron Evans, number 56, lay a load on Grogan just as he lets that ball go. And Grogan, being the tough guy he is, comes up off the ground trying to see if the ball is completed.
It'll be a 39-yard field goal attempt for Jason Starofsky. 10 of 13 so far this year. He is 10 of 10 inside the 48. Hooking, but it's inside the upright. And it is all even now at Veterans Stadium as Starofsky now 11 of 14 on the season. We'll be right back to the vet with 3:35 left in the first quarter. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers along with Ahmad Rashad. The New England Patriots is tying things up with the Philadelphia Eagles at 3 apiece. The squib taken by Izell Jenkins at the 15-yard line. Jenkins across the 25, put down near the 28. And how did Jason Starofsky feel, Ahmad, after he tied things up for the New England Patriots?
Watch him. It's just like a beautiful golf swing the way he kicks that baby. And then he...
It may be early, but this has to be considered an important drive for Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles. They were very impressive. Their opening possession of the day. But Ahmad, they had to settle for 3, and all of a sudden they make a mistake, and they're tied at 3.
The point that I made, that in order to beat a team like New England, you have to jump on them right away. You really do. Otherwise, they'll be in this game right to the end.
Byers is the motion man on 1st and 10 from the 29. Heath Sherman dragging tacklers for 5 yards, close to 6 near the 35-yard line, wrapped up by Garen Veras in his 5th year from Stanford. Sherman averaged 4.5 yards a carry last year. That was 2nd best on the team to Randall Cunningham.
And there you see Keith Jackson trying to block Andre Tippett, something that very few tight ends in the business can do. Tippett's so strong in the upper body, also a black belt in karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, anything else you can imagine.
2nd, close to 4. Throwing for the wideout, it's complete to Calvin Williams. He's got the first down. Gain of 5 to the 40-yard line. Lepet right on top of it. And Calvin Williams with the reception.
If you think that Cunningham can't put any zip on that ball, did you hear that pop when it hit his shoulder pads? That ball, he couldn't have dropped that ball if he wanted to. I think it wedged in the middle of his shoulder pads.
Randall leads the team in rushing once again this year. Led them in rushing with 53 yards on the ground against the Cowboys last week. We asked him yesterday how he felt about leading the team consistently. He said, I'd be happy with about 700 yards, but I'm not going to go crazy. I don't always want to be outside running the ball. That was Heath Sherman. No gain on that carry. One of the few times they've been able to stop the run of the Philadelphia Eagles. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Don't forget to stay with NBC Sports for more great football actions. We present Game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. See the Bills, co-leaders of the AFC East, taking on Cleveland at the Dog Pound as they try to avenge last year's playoff defeat at the hands of the Browns. So check your local listings. The 2nd game of our doubleheader.
That Dog Pound is more like a puppy pound pretty much this year. They've yet to get on track in Cleveland.
Cunningham with all day to look over the secondary. Keith Jackson on the reception. He's got 8 out to the 48-yard line.
As in the past, when Randall Cunningham is trying to find a receiver, here's a guy he looks for. Let's watch Keith Jackson work. He's bracketed inside outside, makes a nice turn, and finds the open spot. He works back to the quarterback. I think that's the confidence that Randall Cunningham has in Keith Jackson, that Keith Jackson, once he makes a turn, then he starts to work to get open. He is possibly the best tight end in football.
Good start for Randall Cunningham. Only 3 misses so far. Now it's a 3rd and 2. He's got room to run it, and he will pick up the first down on his own. And takes it out of bounds. With more than enough for the first down in New England territory, down to the 37-yard line. Kansas City with a 3-point lead now early over the LA Raiders. Green Bay maintaining that 3-point advantage. Same score down in Miami over the Cardinals. And what an upset that would be if Detroit could beat Washington. Now, what a big help that would be for the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East.
Jerry Glanville's Atlanta leading. They call him Gary Grandview when he goes to Pittsburgh. If he wins this game, maybe they'll get his name right.
Never. Never. 1st and 10 from the Patriots' 37-yard line. Cunningham with the pocket holding up. Has a man wide open. Fred Barnett. Touchdown, Eagles. Second time today, Ahmad. They have blown a coverage by a good 15 yards in the secondary.
And here you see Cunningham. Excellent line blocking by the Philadelphia Eagles. He just finds Barnett wide open down the middle for the score. And one of the reasons is, in this new offense, Richie Kotite, they run the same play from 8 or 10 different formations, which tends to confuse the defense. That had to be some confusion there because there's nobody around Barnett as he makes the catch.
Ruzick in for the point after out of the hold of punter Jeff Eagles. It's perfect. And now it is a lead once again for the Philadelphia Eagles on a long touchdown pass from Randall Cunningham to Fred Barnett. Fred held on, Randall can tell, and the Eagles celebrators will be right back to the vet.
Speaking of great catches, there's a fellow who made quite a few during his career here. Harold Carmichael, one of the finest receivers ever to play in this National Football League. 6'7". Boy, he could catch that alley-oop pretty good.
And if you happen to get mixed up in a pickup game with him on the hardwood floor, he can dunk on you too. He was a great receiver for many, many years. The Eagles with 2 great drives, better than 70 yards each time they touch the ball. 10 points now to account for those 2 drives. A 37-yard pass to Fred Barnett to culminate the last one. It took only 6 plays. Ruzek kicking it away once again to Sammy Martin and Marvin Allen.
Come on, William. Come on, William.
It'll be Marvin Allen from the 5. Maybe. And does a pretty good job to get it out across the 10. Up near the 12. Roger Vick, one of the first ones down there, along with Brett Hager.
And Al Roberts is the special teams coach of this Philadelphia Eagle team, and he has his boys fired up. See, Al meets them halfway when they come off the field. Very intense coach. And I mean, you really got to play special teams just like you're half nuts. Actually, if you're on the special teams, you probably are half nuts. But he gets those guys really fired up.
Not exactly the start Steve Grogan was looking for. He brings them out 1st and 10 at the 12. John Stevens on what should be the final play of the first quarter stacked up after a gain of only 3 at the 15-yard line. And that is the end of the first 15 minutes of play. One dominated, totally dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles as they lead by 7. Welcome back once again to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers along with Ahmad Rashad. A 7-point lead, Ahmad, for the Eagles over the Patriots. It hasn't really even been that close. The Patriots haven't been able to pick up first down yet.
No, and I think the Eagles are on the same page that we have been up here. In order to beat a team like this, you got to step on them right away because they have pride. They're professional players also. If they ever think they can stay in the game, you got a game on your hands. If you can get a couple of quick touchdowns, I think it's all over for New England.
The obvious very early today for the Philadelphia Eagles, the play of the offensive line. They have been phenomenal in their protection of Randall Cunningham.
I have never seen a group of players so unified and so focused as this Philadelphia Eagle team is going into the rest of the season. Watching them yesterday, Buddy Ryan has done an excellent job of getting all his boys together and heading for some playoffs.
Starting of the second quarter, Grogan in trouble. Golick after him. And Grogan takes the wise way out, sliding down before he's hit on the far side.
Steve does not want to take too many hits. As you look at the first quarter stats, the first down is a big one. The Patriots have 0, Eagles have 9. And look at yards passing. Eagles 102, -7 for New England. And time of possession, which is sometimes a misleading stat, especially if the score dictates that, but at almost 11 minutes for the Eagles and 4 minutes for New England. And the game has been dominated by Philadelphia.
4th possession of the afternoon for the New England Patriots. They have yet to pick up a first down. 45 seconds into the second quarter. They're facing right now third and still close to 10. And did they take too much time? Yes, they did. Delay of game.
These are the type of things. I guess that Coach Rod Rush, as we see there, has no more hair to turn gray. But I guess the next thing is you start losing it. You start having too many penalties like that. And I was talking to Pat Sullivan, general manager, before the game. He said that Rod Rush has been a rock through all of this controversial season, the bad play and everything. And he says if he can react this way when they're having a bad season, just think how he'll be once they have a good season.
Grogan throwing on third and long. Third and close to 15. Ben Smith with an opportunity for the pick. And he can't hold on to it. It almost looked like he was trying to fair catch it on a punt.
I think we may have a pass interference call on Ben Smith.
Back at the 23.
Although he was playing the ball. There's a call by the official.
Andre Waters really upset. And it is going against the Eagles.
Well, there's one person that can calm him down, and that is Reggie White, who just told him to stop it.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 26, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So some bumping downfield by Ben Smith.
Well, it almost looked like they got their feet mixed up, and just before this, you'll see Cedric Jones running a route, and he stepped on Ben Smith's feet, and that was the illegal contact.
So the Patriots finally get their first down of the afternoon.
He stepped on his foot, not his feet.
And they backed into it. They got it by way of penalty. He's out across the 12-yard line. Stevens and Perriman split in the backfield. Grogan with the pocket holding up nicely for Irving. Fryer's got it. Fryer on his way, getting a couple of blocks. And he's got it near midfield.
Irving Fryer, one of the most exciting players in this league, has not lost a step. His parents are here. You see Irving running a very nice break-in route. Nice catch. Now, this is what he does best, run after the catch. He has world-class speed. Irving Fryer has not lost a step since he's been in the league. And this is his family group there that's all come from New Jersey. That's the Fryer family. I guess not all of them, but the majority of them in that group right there came to see Irving play, and he just excited them with that last play.
First and 10 for the Patriots. Some breathing room now. The end around to Irving Fryer. It did not fool Clyde Simmons, who stayed at home, the defensive end, who led the Philadelphia Eagles last year in sacks. Now let's take a look now at the Xerox 10-minute ticker. Another field goal for Kansas City. A 6-point lead over the LA Raiders. Kansas City almost in a must-win situation in that game with a 4-3 mark, taking on the first place 6-1 LA Raiders.
And New Orleans moving out ahead of Cincinnati 14-0. Washington has tied it up now 7-all in the second.
Second and long. Nothing doing on the carry for the New England Patriots. John Stevens.
And I imagine that you and our producer Larry Cirillo will probably be there, huh?
We can't wait to find the plane out of Philadelphia as Grogan falls down on 3rd and long. How many more things can go wrong for this team?
You see Grogan just trips over Robert Perriman's feet. These are the type of things that just start to snowball when your team that's 1-6. You have to concentrate so hard to come out of it.
Almost blocking the punt. Isel Jenkins almost got to it, and Anthony Edwards takes it into the fair catch at the 20-yard line. So Edwards that time back on the punt, not Marvin Hargrove, who fumbled earlier. The Eagles will have it back when we return. Eagles by 7. 11:29 left in the first half. And a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Eagles on their 3rd possession of the afternoon. Heath Sherman on the pitch. He is a tough one to bring down. He gets 3 when it looked like he'd be dropped right at the original line of scrimmage.
Excellent running by Heath Sherman. He should have been dropped for a loss, but just kept pounding forward, broke a couple of tackles, and picked up 3.
Well, are the Eagles the best losing team in the NFL? A case can be made for it. They rank 6th offensively, 8th in team defense, and they've picked up more first downs than any team in the NFC, with the exception of the 7-0 San Francisco 49ers. But they, as Randall Cunningham mentioned yesterday, have been killing themselves with mistakes. 2nd and 7. Cunningham. Tippett's got him. Andre Tippett with a big sack inside the 10.
Andre Tippett was hurt early on in the year. And when I talked to Randall about Andre Tippett, he said, that's somebody I got to look out for. And he didn't this time. Watch Tippett with the strong upper body. Just keeps coming. Gets rid of Heath Sherman. And right in on the sack. He's so strong and so fast. And such an intelligent player. When you look at this New England defense, they have some stalwarts over there.
Tippett missed all of last year with that muscle injury to his right shoulder. Patriots have 2 sacks now, Ahmad, and both belong to big number 56, Andre Tippett. Cunningham on 3rd and long with flags in the air out of the shotgun. Comeback with Calvin Williams and Lepet knocking the ball away.
Ryan Lepet, one of the good cover men on this New England team. That is a very tough pattern to cover. When your guy runs a 25-yard out ball, at some point you got to give him, think he's going deep.
Illegal motion. Offense number 73. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
See Cunningham rolling out here. His receiver running a 20-yard out ball, and Lepet right on top of it. Great coverage.
The Eagles punting out of his own end zone. He barely gets it away, and he's hit in the end zone by Marvin Allen. Flag down on the play as Fryer calls for the fair catch. Now let's see if it's a flagrant foul or just a 5-yard mark off of running into the kicker. Was it roughing or running into? And Allen's already told us he held up a 5.
Running into the kicker. It is a 5. Still 4th down.
You watch Eagles get rid of this ball. Looks like it's about to be blocked. But then Marvin Allen just sort of runs into the kicker. And he'll get another shot at it.
So a break for Rod Rust and the Patriots. No roughing, just running into. Fryer back, waiting inside his own 40-yard line for the punt from Jeff Beagles. Knock against Kirby and Fryer so far this year. So back in the New England area, they've been calling him fair catch Fryer, that he has not been returning some punts that they thought he had room to move with.
I think that's a decision only the punter can make.
Fryer with plenty of room on this one. Does not call for the fair catch. And goes nowhere. Got to go north and south in this game. He was headed east and west a lot.
Nothing but green in front of him, though. And I mean jerseys, not yards. One of the toughest things about returning a punt is when they kick the ball, you have your own team in front of you, and you're looking at the ball. Once you catch the ball, you see nothing but green shirts in front of you, and then you got to go into a sort of a MC Hammer type move thing to try to get in the yards, and Fryer goes no place.
Despite that, though, the Patriots with their best field position of the day to start a drive outside of their own 42-yard line. John Stevens on the carry, wrapped up in a hurry. After a gain of a little bit better than a yard, close to 2. They've really issued a challenge this week to Byron Evans, the middle linebacker, the inside linebacker. As you can see, the Patriots have not been able to run the ball successfully so far because Evans, they wanted him to make a concerted effort to stop John Stevens.
Well, one of the things, and it's also tough for him, he's got Mike Golick and Cecil Gray playing in front of him. If you got Jerome Brown in front of you, it's much easier to play middle linebacker because he's going to control everything off you and keep everything off your legs.
Call it 2nd and 8. Deep drop for Grogan, and it's batted down by Seth Joyner.
When you have Reggie White and Seth Joyner coming from the same side, you know you got a problem over there, and Seth Joyner has just been excellent. Reggie White, number 92, Seth Joyner coming from the outside. Reggie just collapsing that. Look at some point, the offensive line has to stop. You cannot just keep backing up. At some point, you got to maintain your position and stop the guys in front of you. I mean, that is not the quarterback's fault. The offensive line must stop and hold everybody out at some point. At this point, Philadelphia just ran them right back into the quarterback.
tough start for Steve Grogan. Not much protection, though. Takes another shot. Throwing it up for Irving Fryer. Can't hang on. Almost a brilliant catch. But it was a blitz by Wes Hopkins, and he buried Steve Grogan.
Wes Hopkins, number 48. You see Reggie White there, number 22. You'll see Wes Hopkins coming a little late. There he is, and he just nails Steve Grogan. Steve Grogan can't continue to play like that and get beat up the way he's been beat up there. And Fryer still almost caught this ball. He almost pulled it in. But more importantly, it's just sad to watch Steve Grogan out there trying to do the best he can with no protection whatsoever.
Low snap, but Hansen gets it away in fine fashion. Room for Anthony Edwards to return it. Across the 35, fumbles it, and it looks like Hansen, the punter, may have come up with it. Down inside the 40. Was it Hansen? Yes. The punters got it for New England. Another huge mistake for Philadelphia.
Now he's got the ball. An excellent chance to run it back. Doesn't cover it up, and it bounces out. And the punter falls on the ball. And there's Edwards trying to take a route off that field that's as far away from Buddy Ryan as possible. You see New England with no turnovers. Philadelphia's got 2. And every time that Philadelphia tries to establish the fact that they're going to be dominant in this game, they end up having a big turnover.
They start with it at the 39 of the Eagles. Grogan going for the tight end Marv Cook, and that's not Grogan checking. Mark Wilson in there for the first time today. So that last shot that Grogan took knocked him right out of the game. Mark Wilson in his 10th year from BYU. The former Raider has taken over.
If this offensive line continues to block the way they block for Grogan, they're going to need about 10 quarterbacks in there to play.
We'll see Tommy Hudson later today.
We'll see him and whoever plays behind him.
Steve Grogan missed practice on Thursday with back spasms, neck pain as well.
He took a major shot to the midsection by Wes Hopkins on that last throw.
They have no ground game so far, so it's tee-off time on the quarterbacks. And look at Seth Joyner go after Wilson. He just caught him out of the corner of his eye. That could have been a devastating shot. Another sack for Joyner and the Eagles. Fortunately for Wilson, he got down in time.
Seth Joyner just came like 90 going north right at the bottom of your screen. Nobody blocks him. And if nobody blocks you got to make a play like that. I want to watch Seth Joyner come from the outside. Just a straight run in and tackle the quarterback. Seth Joyner, a very active outside linebacker, having a big game here today.
That is his second sack of the afternoon. He owns 2 of the 3 for the Eagles. And now it's a 3rd and 16 with flags into the air and a dead ball foul coming up, most likely against New England. It looked like Marv Cook may have lifted up the tight end.
When you have a guy that's coming off the ball as fast as Seth Joyner, this is what it causes. It causes people to go off sides. Marv Cook, number 46, obviously the player who made the mistake, so concerned with Seth Joyner.
We have false start on the offense. Number 46 simulating the start of a play. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Simulating the start of a play. It used to be offsides when I played.
What they haven't been able to do is simulate a first down. They've only got 2 so far this afternoon with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. But still, believe it or not, they're only down by 7. And this really has to remind Eagle fans of the Indianapolis Colts game when they couldn't put them away. And the Colts won the final play of the day. Wilson with time. Going for Sammy Martin. It's complete. Near the first down, but he's short by a couple of yards. At the 32. Near the 31.
Sammy Martin, a big play receiver. Looked like he took a shot in the hip. Watch Reggie White, number 92. Just misses a sack. Just buries in there. Gets right by the quarterback. And Wilson stands in there strong and delivers this ball. And Sammy Martin takes a helmet right on the hip. Nice pattern by Martin. Watch just as he catches the ball. Wes Hopkins put that helmet right on the hip. And we just got a word that Grogan took a shot to the head. Looked like a shot to the midsection. But he says he can return.
49-yard field goal attempt coming up from Jason Starofsky. He has not missed inside the 48 this year, but that is going to be short. So he is now 11 of 15 on the season. And And after getting another turnover, the Patriots can't capitalize with exceptional field position. It is still a 7-point Eagle lead. Well, Bob, you know, now that he hit that 22-footer, that sweet J against the Timberwolves, and he's asked for a rematch with Pooh Richardson of Minnesota, I understand.
Hey, they can't touch me. You know what I'm saying? I was at the game last night, Bob, and
they needed you, buddy.
I thought at one point they were going to come up in the stands and say, I brought my sneakers in my bag. Bob knows my game.
You like to post up on Costas. It's out at the 32. Where it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles with the ball in a 7-point lead. Thrown behind Keith Jackson, but he makes a nice grab at the 40-yard line. And it's 8 yards on the reception.
I mentioned earlier that Keith Jackson is one of these players that keeps working to get open. Here he gets by Andre Tippett and then brings it all the way across the field, and he's still working. And he slows down here not to run into the defense in front of him. Just an excellent awareness play by Keith Jackson. You got to know where you are when you're running pass routes and not run into the defense.
2nd and 2, Heath Sherman. Rod McSwain's got him in the backfield. Nice play. Good penetration by the defensive back, McSwain. Getting a rare start this afternoon due to the injury to the regular strong safety, Roland James.
You know, when you're 1-6, you always have those little scuffles at the end of the play, but this is the first time they've contained Heath. Very nice tackle right there by McSwain.
Once again this afternoon, though, in all fairness to the New England Patriots, most of the ground yardage for the Philadelphia Eagles has come from the gentleman we're looking at right now, Randall Cunningham. He's got about 50% of it. 3rd and 3. Will he call his own number again after dropping back and taking off? Cunningham can't get away from the pressure. Brett Williams has got him. Another sack for the Patriots. And believe it or not, New England stays within 7. Still only 2 first downs from their offensive unit with under 6 minutes left in the first half.
New England does have a very good defense. You see Tippett here also coming in, putting a little pressure on him, enabling so Cunningham can't go to the right, which forces him right back into Brent Williams. But in talking to this New England defense, talking to some of the guys on the team, you know, they're taking this personal. It's like, you know, yeah, we're 1-6, but we're not going to let you walk all over us.
The Eagles punting it once again to Irving Fryer. Sends out a spiral. Good hang time, but Fryer's got room. Inside his own 25. Getting a block to the outside with a flag down on the play, though. They threw the flag right at the feet of Mickey Washington, the reserve cornerback. Fryer is out of bounds. Out across the 45 near the 48. Check in with the referee, Dick Antak.
We have a low block on the returning team, number 21, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So the rookie from Texas A&M cost the Patriots sizable yardage on the return, but they have the ball back when we come back to Philadelphia. Earlier today on NFL Live, in case you missed it, some of the headlines, Lou Holtz talking about his team not number 1. Will McDonough with the NFL draft, in his opinion, ready for significant changes next year, and Bob Trumpy out in Cleveland says that Brown's still deliberating on whether to start Mike Pagel over Bernie Kosar, and that will not be announced until just before game time. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers along with Ahmad Rashad. Steve Grogan already knocked out of the game. So he took a shot to the head. Mark Wilson has taken over now in the backfield. Kansas City trying to raise their record to 5-3, hoping to hand the Raiders only their 2nd loss of the season, lead by 6. Chris Jackie field goal as the Packers in front of the San Francisco 49ers. Miami comfortably in front as New Orleans has got a 7-point lead over Cincinnati, and you believe those Lions, they will not quit.
Des Trois, 21-14.
They shocked New Orleans last week in New Orleans. Dallas with an early lead in Atlanta. That's got to be a surprise. Pittsburgh looking so good last Monday night against the Los Angeles Rams, trailing by 9 at home, but it is early. 5:24 left in the first half here at Veterans Stadium. The Eagles leading by 7. But if ever they had opportunities to put a team away, it's been the New England Patriots in the first half of this contest, because the Patriots have had no offense basically whatsoever.
And we have received information that Grogan return is questionable at this point.
Wilson waiting for Jones, who makes an incredible grab. Did he hang on? Dual possession? Yes. Eric Allen took it away, but dual possession. It'll belong to the wide receiver.
Eric Allen claiming he had the ball, but it was a fine catch by Cedric Jones. And very close to a first down. He'll bring in the old sticks.
This New England Patriot offense only averaging 14 points a game this year.
Now he should maybe get 2 catches for this one. He caught it once, twice, no, 3. Caught it 3 times on 1 play. And then had it taken away from him. Once they hit the ground, once you hit the ground, it's dead. But just a fine catch and really good defense by Allen. Allen saying, "Oh man." I can hear that from here.
It is a first down, the 3rd of the first half for the Patriots. With exactly 5 minutes left and counting.
3 first downs now for the Patriots. One of them with a penalty.
Wilson quarterbacking the team, throwing it wide of his intended target. Since he came to New England, he is 1-10 as the starting quarterback of the Patriots. Well, today wasn't a start. Maybe he'll have better luck. Under throws. Sammy Martin didn't look real strong to the wide side of the field on that one.
You need a little luck on that ball just to get it to the receiver. But what you see Mark Wilson doing now is going to that 3-step drop. The offensive line having a trouble holding the defense out. Watch, just 3 steps and he lets his ball fly. Steve Grogan, who was in the first quarter, was trying to, I guess it didn't really fly. He let it go, and there's Grogan looking on from the sideline.
Is that the antithesis of a frozen rope?
I don't know what antithesis means.
3rd and 10 for Wilson. Pocket holding up this time, and it's almost picked off by Seth Joyner. He got up there but couldn't hang on. Is he ever putting together a solid first half? He wanted Fryer over the middle.
Seth Joyner with a great play, just reading the quarterback's eyes and reacting, because he was playing in a spot. And once you watch the quarterback, he's trying to go to Irving Fryer on this little break-in pattern, and Joyner just goes up and knocks it down. Fryer, though, covered pretty well then by Andre Waters, number 20.
Danson in to punt it away once again. It'll be Anthony Edwards back deep. Flag down on the play. Edwards losing it. Loose ball. It looks like New England may cover it. It would be the 3rd giveaway of the day. And it is by the Philadelphia Eagles. Are they ever having problems with special teams? Buddy Ryan disgusted with this development. There is a flag down, don't forget. Did somebody leave too early?
Edwards, just you can't win football games like that. You cannot afford to drop that ball.
Motion, offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 4th down.
And boy, did they get a reprieve on that one, because this Philadelphia Eagles team, the Patriots are just waiting to get put away, and the Philadelphia team cannot put them away. They keep coming up with all kinds of strange turnovers, giving New England a chance to stay in this football game. And here comes Edwards off the field. They will not let him return this punt. He has been replaced by Marvin Hargrove, who dropped one earlier. So this is his reprieve. Hargrove dropped one early in the first quarter. They took him out. Now he's back in.
Hansen gets away a beauty, sending Hargrove back to his own 30. And Hargrove hangs on. You'll hear some Bronx cheers from this crowd at Veterans Stadium. They hold on to it. To the 40-yard line.
This is the loudest this crowd has been all day, just because Hargrove held on to the punt. Those kind of mistakes just really, you get excited and fired up about a game, and all of a sudden you start having these little turnovers like that. That can start to chip away at your confidence as a whole football team. It's like every time we get ready to go, we give the ball back.
So the Eagles get it. Their own 40-yard line. Cunningham throwing, and like all day, he's got all day. Going for Calvin Williams. It's complete. Down to the 22. He beat Rodney McSwin in the play, coming over to help out.
Calvin Williams has also redeemed himself. If you'll remember, early in the first quarter, he dropped a touchdown pass. He's at the top of your screen, just runs a little bit of a corner pattern, and this ball is thrown perfectly. Nice catch by Williams. He needed that badly after dropping that touchdown ball early in the first quarter.
I like the comments by Ron Heller, the left tackle, on Calvin Williams, talking about the only time a player is a rookie is at camp, when they make them get up and sing. Once that's over, nobody's a rookie anymore. Once you get out to the field, nobody cares what year you're in.
That's exactly right.
1st and 10. Cunningham stumbles, but look at the time he's got to go into the end zone, and it's overthrown. Looking for Fred Barnett. He didn't have to throw it then. He had still plenty of protection.
And he threw the ball where only his receiver had a chance to catch it, as he has a little bit of something to say to Keith Jackson.
The only time they've been able to put pressure on Randall Cunningham is when they brought the outside backer Andre Tippett. Rich Kotite, the offensive coordinator, told me yesterday, frequently the Patriots will gamble and bring 2 linebackers from the same side, which you very rarely see in this league.
They don't want Randall to roll out. That's when he's dangerous. They want to keep him straight in the pocket.
Play action on the leg. Takes a hit from behind. Inside the 20. Close to the 17.
He is most dangerous once he gets outside your linebacker and starts coming around. Now, if you think they're not popping out there, we're going to let this play and let you hear the hit that Randall takes when he gets tackled. That sound always frightened me. You know, I'd always think that something was broken until I got up and walked back and found out that it didn't hurt, but it certainly was loud.
3rd and 5 now at the 17. Play action. The fake to Sherman, and behind a wide open Keith Byers. Unusual that they have not been able to get the ball into the hands of Keith Byers so far this afternoon.
Now, a lot of times Randall told us that Keith Byers is used so much that defenses like to cover him, and he ends up being a decoy, allowing the other players to get wide open. Here's just a little fake crossing play, and Randall throws this one a little bit behind Byers, but Byers, as you can see, was bracketed front and back by the New England defense.
Roger Uzek attempting to put the Eagles up by 10. It'll be a 35-yard attempt out of the hold of the Eagles at the 25-yard line. And just inside the right upright. So they capitalize on that big pass reception by Calvin Williams once again with some momentum going their way. The Eagles have to settle for 3 deep in New England territory, leading by 10 with 2:52 left in the first half. And don't forget, next couple of field goals by Nick Lowry from 36, 48 yards out. A 6-0 Kansas City lead in the rain at Arrowhead. Jackie with a field goal for Green Bay. Miami in control at home. New Orleans still with an advantage. Eddie Brown accounting for the only score of the day for the Cincinnati Bengals on an 8-yard pass from Boomer Esiason. And Atlanta still leading the Pittsburgh Steelers on 3 great Davis field goals.
You ever bowl, Joe?
Not recently, Ahmad. I have been with my 2 boys, though.
What's your high score?
Well, you know, this Philadelphia Eagle team, they bowl in force. But you know what they say about the family that bowls together?
Uh-oh.
They split. But the Eagles do bowl every Monday night. There's about 35 to 40 Eagles that bowl together.
Well, maybe they're looking forward to, they'll probably all be watching next week when the PBA is on our network, huh? Trying to get a pointer or 2.
They're going to rush out of the walkthrough on Saturday afternoon to catch that PBA. Sammy Martin and Marvin Allen waiting for the kickoff from Ruzick. Islander the short one. It'll be taken by Martin at the 13. Couple of good blocks for Sammy Martin as he's popped out of bounds in front of the Eagle bench. And those nice blocks, 2 of them by Tom Hawk, reserve free safety.
Kenny Jackson is a leader on this football team. Here's a guy that was a first-round draft choice as a receiver. Watch number 83 come up and just blast Sammy Martin. and you see a cup being thrown out with ice. Looked like he was almost spitting teeth out. But Kenny Jackson is one of the stabilizing forces on this team. He is Randall Cunningham's best friend, keeps him calm down, but he's a leader and a guy that Buddy Ryan says you got to have a guy like him on a winning football team. They're very happy to have him here.
Great field position for the Patriots. Their own 40-yard line for Mark Wilson at quarterback. He's hit as he throws it. Cedric Jones, aware of the ball all the time, came back to get it. Heads up play by the wide receiver.
He's knowing where that ball is coming. Now, here you see Mark Wilson. Watch Reggie White, number 92, right there. That's what caused that ball to go up and flutter like it did. But a great heads-up play by Cedric Jones, who saw the underthrow and came back to make the catch. And who was on the tackle? Seth Joyner, number 59.
Inside the 37, where it's another first down. Wilson looking deep for Pryor. Has Irving. Is he in? Yes. Touchdown, Patriots. So you head over to the family. Yes, he does.
Irving takes this ball up to the Fryer clan, saying, I told you I was going to do something good. I actually talked to him before the game. And I said, come on, just do something good so I can talk about you. So I did.
So now, very quiet crowd, a sellout here at Veterans Stadium. Can't believe the developments. Latter stages of the first half.
I think they're looking for a football. Oh, no, they got one. I thought maybe that he had taken the only football they had and gave it up to the family.
Times aren't that tough yet.
I guarantee you they were not going to get it back.
Play stands is called. Touchdown.
They reviewed the play to see if he stepped out of bounds inside the 5.
Philadelphia has dilly-dallied around and let this New England team get back into it.
Starofsky with the extra point. And it's only a 3-point game. Under 2 minutes remaining at Veterans Stadium. A 36-yard touchdown reception by Irving Pryor. The New England Patriots get their first touchdown of the afternoon from Irving Pryor and a long pass from Mark Wilson. And welcome back once again to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers, Ahmad Rashad. All week long, Ahmad, after only beating the Dallas Cowboys by a point, the Philadelphia Eagles have been saying we have not been playing down to the level of our opposition. Well, they certainly haven't been taking control of the situation either.
It's like a heavyweight boxing match that if you don't take out an inferior opponent earlier, you run the risk of getting knocked out. And that's what's happening with Philadelphia. They have got to step on this team, and they haven't. All of a sudden right now, the New England Patriots feel like they can win the game.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles have already lost 2 home games this year to the Phoenix Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts. And it only gets tougher in the second half of the season. In just a couple of minutes, we'll take a look as Sanders takes it deep in the end zone after the kickoff by Starofsky.
Here you see Mark Wilson finding a wide open Irving Pryor down the left sideline. Now watch his feet closely. 1 foot in. That one there is awful close. And he tips in for the score. And then ran another 70 yards over to section 152 to give that ball to his family members.
So the Eagles start with it, their 5th series of the afternoon. The Patriots have had the ball already 8 times in the first down. 3 wide receivers joining Keith Jackson in the lineup for Randall Cunningham, who goes for Kenny Jackson, and it was almost intercepted by Maurice Hurst.
That was probably the worst throw that Randall Cunningham has had this afternoon. Watch a collision here with Kenny Jackson and Maurice Hurst. That's probably what broke that ball up. Otherwise, it's a sure interception by Hurst.
Yeah, why are 2 receivers right next to each other?
One waiting for the rebound. I think
it's the only explanation. Almost a pick for Hurst.
Hurst covered both of them.
Hurst is second in the NFL, tied for second in the NFL with 4 interceptions coming in this afternoon. Cunningham out of the shotgun, going deep down the same side against Maurice Hurst, and underthrows Fred Barnett. The defensive coordinator For the New England Patriots, Charlie Sumner told us yesterday they have been throwing away from Maurice Hurst over to Ronnie Lepet's side. Not Randall Cunningham after the last couple. Here's Charlie Sumner.
Once a teammate of my old teammate, Fran Tarkenton. I don't want you to think that we all played on the same team together. They played way before I did.
I love Charlie's reply. You said, are they playing hard, Charlie? He says, we're playing hard. We just got to play better.
That's right. We got a lot of guys playing hard. We need them to play better.
3rd and 10 for Cunningham. He beats Brent Williams. He can run for the first down, and he gets past Lepet as Singleton finally catches up with him. But another first down by way of Randall Cunningham's scrambling ability.
Randall Cunningham. You know, this is professional football, but I see him doing things to professional players like people do in the parks. You know, where you fake the pass, a guy jumps up and you keep running. Watch Cunningham here. Looking downfield, trying to find a receiver. Can't find anybody. Takes off around the right side. Now watch this fake. On Brent Williams. Up, no, I didn't throw it. Here comes another one. There's another little fake. Gets by Tippett.
Randall Cunningham in only his 6th year. By next year, he'll be surpassing Fran Tarkenton in his 18 seasons on the ground.
And it was quite interesting that Sumner did mention the fact that Cunningham reminded him of Fran Tarkenton. And I said that you had to see early footage of Fran Tarkenton. He really was. Once he took off out of that pocket, he ran the ball just like a halfback. In his later years, he just scrambled around trying to find time to pass. But early on, he was a lot like Randall Cunningham, maybe not as fast.
That timeout was called by Cunningham and the Eagles. They have 2 remaining in the first half with 1:22 left. Cunningham for Keith Jackson. And Andre Tippett right with him as the pass was thrown behind Jackson once again.
Excellent coverage by Andre Tippett on Jackson. Here comes Jackson coming across the field. Tippett picks him up, number 56. Now he's just stalking him at this point, staying between him and the quarterback. And he knocks the ball down with his back.
There's no question the defensive unit of the New England Patriots, and especially the linebacking core, is the best thing about this team, and right now doing a good job of keeping their team in the game. They've
got some good players, good young players too, in Singleton, Agnew.
Keith Sherman on the inside handoff, breaking outside and getting a nice block downfield from Keith Byers for a first down. Byers taking out a couple of Patriots, comes out limping a little bit. Sherman, though, has the first down and gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
And Byers is limping a little bit. Great running here by Sherman. Byers is in the running out here. Now watch him come up and just give Sherman some help. Great block. But great running there by Sherman. Able to get yardage and get out of bounds. As they take a look at Byers' lower extremity.
9 carries, 51 yards now for Heath Sherman. Cunningham in trouble. Eludes the pressure and has room. Takes on McSwain and then takes a shot by Singleton. Randall, think about that before you do it the next time.
I think that I've seen him do that so many times. Watch this running ability. He is so fast. Now he tries to hurdle. It's like, you're going to tackle me? Here, take this. I don't know who got the worst of that.
Doing his best Edwin Moses impression.
This is it. Watch this nice. Woo!
It is amazing, Ahmad, with the way he deals and he's with reckless abandon out there, the way he scrambles, that he's been able to start now every game for almost 6 seasons.
Averages 6.2 yards per rush, highest in the NFL among backs with 50 or more attempts. He looks like he's so skinny, but he is very strong, very wiry. And shots like that don't hurt. I mean, it's not like he's taking, I think a lot of times when you get quarterbacks, when they take those body shots, when they're back in the, like the one that we saw Grogan take earlier on in the first quarter, those are the kind of shots that put you out. But the way Randall does, he doesn't really take those hard punishing shots once he starts running. Eagles have one more timeout. Patriots with 3.
Don't forget at halftime, look back at the Raiders-Chiefs rivalry. Scores and highlights with Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, and Will McDonough. So they'll also look at that second game of our doubleheader. 1st and 10 down at the 37 of New England. Cunningham going for the bundle, looking for Keith Jackson. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles! been heard from in a big way in the first half this afternoon after catching only 18 passes in his first 5 games this year.
Well, we talked about him not catching those short balls anymore. He would catch balls for a bigger average, and that one right there will take his average way up.
An 80-yard scoring drive culminating with a long TD to Jackson.
Oh, that Keith Jackson, he's a hoss. You see him run down here. Now, this is a basketball move right here. Watching Keith Jackson, he's covered perfectly, but watch him go up for the rebound type catch. Goes up and just takes it away. That's called just taking the ball. I mean, he was covered perfectly. Cunningham throws the ball in the perfect spot, but watch Keith Jackson. This is a man playing with boys right here. They got 3 defenders around him. He comes up with the ball.
He loves going downfield. Like he told us yesterday, Maude, with a smile on his face, I'm not a tight end. I'm just a wide receiver that can block.
A wide receiver in a tight end body. But I tell you what, Buddy Ryan said to me yesterday, he's quite simply the best tight end in the business. And making a catch like that, you'd have a tough time to find anybody to give you an argument. He also is a nice man. He gave me some chicken wings yesterday.
From Kenny's Camden Deli.
That's right.
Which you didn't proceed to share with any of us.
I'm sorry. I thought you guys had already had breakfast.
Kenny's Camden Deli. Kenny Jackson always brings up some chicken wings for the guys for the Saturday walkthrough. That's where Buddy Ryan got him to come out of retirement. He went to Kenny's Camden Deli, had his special chicken dish, and Buddy said, you got to come back. I don't know if it was the chicken or special teams play.
I think it was the special teams play because Buddy is svelte now. He's slimmed down, and next thing you know, Buddy will be having some designer jeans on and some contacts.
Sammy Martin and Marvin Allen waiting for the kickoff. Allen will take it back inside the 5, sidestepping the first one. And he's out of bounds near the 15-yard line. Almost a great play, though. Downfield by Izell Jenkins, a 12-yard return. And still plenty of time for the New England Patriots because they still have all 3 timeouts remaining. They do trail by 10 now. So the Eagles regain the momentum after the long touchdown pass from Mark Wilson to Irving Pryor.
This Patriot team, though, gaining momentum as the game goes on and gaining more confidence, thinking they can get back in the game. They had a big play to get them back in. They had one chance to get a touchdown pass early in the first quarter, a ball that was overthrown. So they still feel like they are very much in this football game.
It is rare when a team will have the ball for 9 different possessions in the first half. As John Stevens fumbles, it's on the ground of the 15.
I think they got it back.
The Patriots hang on.
Dodged a bullet right there, and Rod Rust, a lot like Bud Grant, you can't tell what he's thinking.
Looks like Bruce Armstrong with the fumble recovery.
Mark Wilson on the handoff, and it looks like he sort of missed the handoff. He caught John Stevens on the hip. Stevens never had the ball, and no one knows where it is at that point, as New England able to recover that fumble.
And the Patriots will play it safe deep in their own territory. But they have to feel good that they're only down by 10, and for the first 15 minutes and most of the first portion of the second quarter, their offense really wasn't into gear with Steve Grogan. Wilson came in. It did pick up the pace a little bit. It's halftime at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The Eagles on top by 10. It's halftime at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia with the Eagles on top of the New England Patriots by 10. And welcome back once again, Joel Myers along with Ahmad Rashad. It appeared that the Patriots had gained the momentum on that touchdown catch by Irving Pryor, but they gave it right back in the final minute.
Well, the Eagles have been sort of slopping around a little bit the first half, and this is a game that they should dominate, and they haven't. We talked about earlier in the game that in order to beat a team like this, you have to jump out on top of them ahead of time and really show them that you are the dominant team. They have not done that. They had one big play by Keith Jackson, who did a great impression of Charles Barkley when he just took this ball away from 3 defenders on this touchdown play. And he looks a lot like Charles Barkley in a football uniform. You see Keith Jackson, number 88. He's surrounded by defenders. Watch him go up and just manhandle this ball away from all 3 guys. And that was the big play of the first half.
The Philadelphia Eagles have given the New England Patriots a couple of big chances in their own territory. But on both occasions when they picked up those turnovers, they couldn't translate them into points, as Kenny Jackson will stay in the end zone
once again,
with the second half kickoff.
And once again, they've got the same problem this half. They've got to go out right away and show them who is the better team. And Buddy Ryan, as we look on right there, probably had a very fiery halftime talk with his football team, and I expect to see them play a lot better this half.
So the Eagles will start with it in the second half as we look at the halftime numbers. And you can see the domination we're talking about. Almost 300 yards of total offense by the Philadelphia Eagles, even though the New England Patriots had the ball 4 more times in the first 30 minutes of play. Keith Sherman on the carry. Very little. Maybe a yard, yard and a half.
And Jerome Brown, number 99 of the Philadelphia Eagles, told me that if they suit me up, I know I'm not going to play, supposed to not play, but if they suit me up, I'm getting on that field one way or the other. And he just now ran out to get the kicking tee, and then Randall Cunningham waved him off the field. So he did make an appearance here on the field, if it was only to pick up the tee.
I thought that was Jim McMahon's job.
If there was a fight for it, you know who's going to win.
Nose tackle may have jumped off as Sherman spins away from a tackle, brought down finally by Ed Reynolds, the inside linebacker, after a gain of about 6. But it looked like Tim Goad, the nose tackle, may have encroached. So another mistake by the New England Patriots.
And there is Jerome Brown.
Defense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
One of the finest defensive tackles in all of football, and not a bad guy to send out there and pick up that tee. He zipped out there and came off with it.
His teammates say he's the biggest teddy bear in the world.
He's not a teddy bear once he starts playing football, though. He is a tiger, or a hurricane, I might say.
8th penalty against the Patriots, 50 yards in mark-offs, and it brings up a 2nd and 4 at 26 for the Eagles. Williams, the motion man. Keith Byers with his first carry of the day. He's got Solt out leading the way. Byers tough to bring down, and he's got more than enough for the first down, out of bounds at the 49.
Keith Byers, who has been a decoy the first half, shows his all-around ability. We've seen him block, we've seen him catch, and now you get a chance to see him run. And now you know why Buddy Ryan says this is the best all-around back in football. He just breaks tackles and keeps going forward. Once again, Byers with excellent quickness, great running stride, keeps his feet close to the ground. Good block there by Ron Solt to set him free.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Heath Sherman scrambling for a yard, close to 2. I was surprised Ahmad in the first half that Keith Byers touched the ball so little. They only looked in his direction once, and granted, he's going to draw double coverage, but he started the day 3rd in the NFL with 42 receptions, and he combines that great talent of size and speed at 245 and runs the 4.5 40.
Randall Cunningham told us that he had Byers had an opportunity to maybe catch 100 balls during the course of this season, but a lot of times, because they use him so much, he ends up being a decoy because they move him all around in their offensive formations.
Solid 2nd and close to 9. Flags on the play, and Byers wrapped up by Brent Williams. Dead ball foul, I believe. Or was the nose tackle jumping once again?
Randall Cunningham able to draw the defensive off with his hard count.
Offsides. Defense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
Trying to get a jump. Nose tackle Tim Goad, his 3rd year from North Carolina, the starter since his rookie season, not picking up on the cadence of Randall Cunningham.
When you play a team like New England, you have to try to not be cutesy, but just go right at them and try to beat them physically.
Keith Sherman still on his feet, and he's got the first down.
We have talked about Byers being the all-around back. We saw him run. Watch him block here on this play. He's the lead blocker, and Byers just seals off a lane for Sherman, who has that excellent body lean, who's always going forward. Keith Byers, a huge Cosby Show fan, threatened me that if I didn't introduce him to my wife, I'd have him to speak to after the game. Said he watches every show, tapes them all.
And your lovely wife, Felicia, making the trip down to join you today in Philadelphia.
There she is. The big and Mrs. Buddy Ryan to her right. Aha, camera shy. She's camera shy. Some of the ladies on the Eagles' wives were asking her how she controls those children on the Cosby Show, and she said they all have a script.
Keith Sherman on the pitch. After they measured, they do have the first down. Sherman is a battler. He gets 5. Almost 6 on the carry.
He has such excellent body lean. He's always going forward. Even when he takes the first and second hit, he continues to move forward. Watch him. Sherman here, number 23, turns the ball up the field, takes a hit there by Tippett, and keeps going forward. Excellent body lean.
Buddy Ryan has told us before, if they wanted a 1,000-yard rusher, they could have one. But that's not the way they play offensive football in Philadelphia.
Rich Kotite has a very good offensive plan.
The reverse to Fred Barnett, and he's got blocking out in front. Another first down inside the 25-yard line.
And one of his blockers out front was Randall Cunningham, looking for somebody to block. Here's a reverse, a pitch back to Byers. Outside handoff to Barnett around right in, and you see Randall Cunningham blocking Andre Tippett. There is not another quarterback in the league that would even attempt that, but with that great athletic ability by Cunningham, he gets out there and tries to put a block on Andre Tippett.
Sherman and Byers stay in the backfield. It's a drive to start the second half that started back at the 20-yard line. Inside give, Sherman down to the 22. Well, this is the second game of 4 for the Eagles against the AFC East. The first one, a disappointment, a loss to the Indianapolis Colts right here at Veterans Stadium. It is going to be an extremely difficult final 2, though, as they will be matching up with Buffalo and Miami when they get to the AFC East. And speaking of Buffalo, it'll be the second game of our doubleheader today on NBC. The Bills and the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. So don't forget to tune in.
At this point in the season, it doesn't matter who you play. You got to beat anybody. There are no easy games.
Cunningham looking deep. Has Calvin Williams. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
A very well executed play. Great line blocking. Very good fake by Randall Cunningham. And he had a chance to hit one of 2 receivers. He could have hit Keith Jackson for a first down, but he opted to go for it all and hit Williams in the end zone. Great all-around play. That was 11 players all on the same page.
Ruzick follows up with the extra point, not in the hold of Fiegels. And the second half starts with an 80-yard drive for the Philadelphia Eagles. A touchdown toss to Calvin Williams at a 17-point lead. What appeared to be a backbreaker in the final minute of the first half is carry the momentum into the second half for the Philadelphia Eagles. A long touchdown pass to Keith Jackson. And now with the Eagles touching the ball for the first time in the second half, it's a long touchdown pass to Calvin Williams of 23 yards. An 80-yard drive and all the momentum in the direction of the Eagles, leading by 17 at home. So we welcome you back to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers along with Ahmad Rashad. Sammy Martin back. He'll take the squib kick. And Martin doing a good job of taking across the 30 out to the 32.
This play is the way you draw him up. After pounding the ball at that defense with Heath Sherman, you fake to him, roll out, and Randall Cunningham makes it look so easy. You see Keith Jackson here. He could have hit Keith Jackson for a first down, but he went for the touchdown instead. Very nice catch. Very nice play. The offensive line for Philadelphia is doing a whale of a job. Let's give some credit to Dan Neal, who's the offensive line coach. Doing a great job with that offensive line. Protecting Cunningham all day.
Wilson starts once again at quarterback in the second half. He took over for Grogan. If you joined us late, Ben Smith with a flag down on the play, knocking it away from Cedric Jones. But a flag thrown in the direction of Jesse Small going downfield with the tight end Marv Cook.
Looks like we got a face mask. Jesse Small got his hand caught up in Marv Cook's face mask, I think.
Steve Grogan took a shot to the head late in the first quarter. Had to leave. Mark Wilson has taken over ever since.
Not to mention all the other shots he took. He took it to the head, to the chest, to the... It was just a slaughter on Steve Grogan. The first quarter of the football game. The New England Patriots line has toughened up a little bit since then.
We have holding, grasping the face mask on the defense. Number 52, 5 yards, first down.
So it is called on Jesse Small, second year out of Eastern Kentucky. Second round pick of the Eagles last year. And it is an automatic first down. Well, obviously, Mark Wilson and Steve Grogan aren't the future of the New England Patriots. And there's a lot of speculation that Tommy Hotson will be starting a little bit later this year for the Patriots. And I'll get back to that thought because I had a chance to talk with Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator of the Patriots, yesterday. First and 10, though, for New England, outside of their own 35. Wilson with time for Irving Fryer. A little bit too high on that one. And time now to check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Still a very close game in Kansas City. A couple of Lowry field goals.
San Francisco finally on the board.
John Taylor caught a touchdown pass with under 20 seconds left in the first half. Miami pulling away.
That team knows how to win, those San Francisco 49ers. They always believe they're always in the game, but look at this score. Detroit 35-21 over Washington.
And it was 35-14 before the Redskins got a touchdown run from Gerald Riggs. Surprising Detroit Lions looking for their second straight win. Wilson in trouble. Got away from the pressure momentarily. And now a flag moment will be thrown. He just threw the ball away. Seth Joyner there. Also Reggie White. It'll be intentional grounding. Wilson tried that one left-handed, I believe.
He'd been better off trying to throw with his foot. And he had a lot of pressure. And it all came right up the middle as they ran him out of the pocket. He was trying to find Irving Fryer.
The Eagles helping out Dick Hantak on the near sideline.
We have illegal motion on the offense. We have intentional grounding on the offense. We have grasping the face mask on the defense. Penalties are offset. Replay second down.
So 2-1, they offset. 2 penalties on New England, 1 penalty on Philadelphia, and that offsets them, and it also offsets Buddy, who doesn't like that call at all.
And those 2 penalties, or at least one of the 2, been called on the Patriots. It would have been their 10th of the afternoon. There's still 9.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Instead, they'll play it over. It's 2nd and 10. The ball at the 37. Wilson for Fryer. And Irving Fryer has a first down. Taking Eric Allen with him out near the 49-yard line.
Irving Fryer has that explosive ability of catching that little short ball and turning it into a long gainer. Right there you see him catch a little short ball, and Allen made a great tackle just to bring him down, because Fryer is very strong, very fast, and breaks tackles very well.
Stevenson, George Adams in the backfield now. 1st and 10 for the Patriots. They're down by 17. Pocket holds up for Wilson. Throws it wide of his intended target, Cedric Jones. Back to that thought, though, Ahmad, when I asked Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, about the future of Tommy Hotson and his playing this year, he said he will get an opportunity to play this year. But when you play Buffalo one week and Philadelphia the next week, that is not the time to start a rookie quarterback against Bruce Smith that one week and then Reggie White the next. You don't want to shatter his confidence right away.
What does that make the old guys feel like when you throw them to the dogs?
It's like, thanks for helping us, buddy. There's Tommy Hotson. Hotson, the rookie from LSU, a 3rd-round draft choice. He will have a chance to play this year because they've got to find out about Tommy Hotson. They know Wilson and Grogan are not going to be around. As George Adams rambles for the first down, and in the words of Jimmy Ray, he said, we have an old quarterback and we have an older quarterback. So Hotson will get his chance to play this year. Adams with a nice run. Originally a first-round pick of the Giants. Plan B signing with the Patriots this year. And he's got better than 10 yards all the way down to the 36.
This New England team is not giving up. Give them credit. They keep fighting back.
Wilson almost has it intercepted. Joyner timed it perfectly, but that was a bullet, and he was only about 5 feet away from the quarterback. Been some kind of day for Seth Joyner.
Seth Joyner is everywhere. As Reggie White is slow getting up, I think it's only because he may be a little bit tired. Reggie, talking to Reggie, said, you know, I get double teamed. I get people hold me and grab me. As you watch number 92 to the left, there's a double team right there. 2 people on him. Seth Joyner goes up and almost comes down with the grab, but Reggie White said, you know, sometimes I wish I wasn't so good. Then I get to play a guy one-on-one. Reggie White is as good as they got.
Delay for John Stevens. You were talking about, what was his name again? Reggie White. Yes, sir.
He is the minister of defense and just a great person. Reggie White is, when you talk about heroes and guys that should be heroes, Reggie White is one of the fine human beings in this National Football League and one of the finest defensive ends to have ever played. Talking to Buddy Ryan, he said, you know, when I was at Minnesota, I had Carl Eller and Alan Page and all those guys. He said Reggie White is better than all of them, which is quite a statement.
Reggie White yesterday asked me to issue a challenge to you on the air. He wants you.
He can't beat me running.
We'll get to that in a second. Mark Wilson scrambling. He's got George Adams, and Adams has a first down inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Adams coming on for replacing Foreman in the backfield to join John Stevens. And a good job by Wilson with pressure coming on him.
Wilson playing a fine game. He's been able to avoid the pressure. You see Wilson dropping back, and a very good job by the offensive line. Wilson rolls out a little bit, finds his receiver. Very nice throw to Adams, and Adams does what most running backs do once they catch the ball, is that they get positive yardage afterwards.
Well, Butch Lewis and Don King would have been proud of you and Reggie White yesterday. Finger pointing, challenging, and Reggie wants you in a 40-yard dash. You wanted it a 20-yard dash.
I want him 100. I want him in 100.
He said 20, he said 40. We are up to 100. So Philadelphia and Boston area fans know now that it will be an upcoming special on NBC.
That's right, the race.
The match race.
So we'll have it sometime this spring. He thinks age is a factor. I think weight is a factor.
False start on the offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Are still first down.
Called on Danny Villa, the right tackle.
Rod Rust suffering through a tough season, and he's still hanging with it. Everybody moving before the snap of the ball, and Reggie White back there almost about to make the handoff.
Patriots are down by 17. This drive started back at their own 32. Now they're looking at 1st and 15 from the 27, going deep for Cedric Jones. And good coverage provided by Eric Allen.
Eric Allen was on Cedric Jones all the way. Very good coverage. He had him man for man. And a lot of times when you feel yourself being covered like that, you want to stop and hope the ball is underthrown. That's what Cedric Jones did, and the ball was overthrown.
They have not been throwing in the direction of Eric Allen all that often this year. He led the NFC in interceptions with 8 going into the Pro Bowl last season. Now they have put Ben Smith the opposite side on the other corner, and they're very impressed with the play of the rookie on the corner. Taking Isaiah Jenkins out, moving Wes Hopkins up to the free safety spot. Wilson throwing on 2nd and 15. He's got some time, and John Stevens can't hold on. Lack of concentration there with 3 Eagles surrounding Stevens.
That tends to happen when you got the opponent's jersey surrounding you. John Stevens opened early, but by the time that Mark Williams delivering the ball, he was getting ready to go into a vice crunch right there, not able to hold on that ball. John Stevens, a man that they really wanted to turn loose running the ball this week, has not been able to be successful on the ground.
They wanted to run him to the left side today. He had a lot of success running to the left side behind Bruce Armstrong last week against the Buffalo Bills when he gained better than 90 yards. Grogan going deep. And Ben Smith took it away from Cedric Jones, who had to play defender all of a sudden. Heads up play by Cedric Jones.
Cedric Jones, Sonny, not only plays offense, but plays a little defense right there. When a ball is badly thrown like that, the receiver has to, all of a sudden in his mind, turn around and become a defender. And Cedric Jones did that very well just to stop that interception.
Starofsky, 1 of 2 on the afternoon, hit a 39-yarder, missed a 49-yarder. This will be an attempt at 44 yards. And it's good. So the Patriots get 3 on their first series of the second half. And don't count out New England. It is still early. 6:07 left in the third quarter. And it's still a 2-touchdown lead, though, for the Eagles. Patriots get a long field goal, a 44-yarder from Starofsky, who kicks it away. It'll be taken by Kenny Jackson. Kenny getting blocks across the 20 to the 22. So both teams score the first time they touch the ball to start the second half. And let's see if the Eagles maintain that momentum they had on their final series of the first half and their first of the second 30 minutes of play.
They cannot afford to let up. At this point, you still have to keep executing. You have to start looking at, and Buddy Ryan knows that, you got to just keep executing, playing good football. You can't get 3 downs and out.
First down from the 22, Heath Sherman. As Andre Tippett trying to rip the ball away at the 25-yard line. Keith Byers leading the way.
You will see a fantastic block by Byers, but listen. You heard the sounds. Heard the sounds. We apologize for maybe some of that language, but sometimes guys say gosh darn out there on the field.
Sherman making the most of the opportunity today, getting the start. If you've just joined us due to the injury to Anthony Toney, the regular tailback, who's out with a groin injury. One of the 2 inactives for the Eagles this afternoon. Sherman again plowing it straight ahead. Gets about 4 to the 29 as we take another look now at the Hurts 10-minute ticker. Still 2 Nick Lowry field goals, the difference between the Chiefs and the Raiders. San Francisco has tied it up in Green Bay.
Miami flexing at home against Phoenix 23-3 in the 4th. And the Jets take the lead over Dallas 10-9.
Pittsburgh with 14 unanswered points now. And later today, many of you will see right here on NBC, the Bills and the Browns at the Dog Pound. 3rd and short. 3rd and a little bit better than 3. Byers has it. That is his first catch of the afternoon. And it's good enough for a first down. So he came in with 42. 3rd best in the NFL, and he's got number 43.
And Richie Kotite, the offensive coordinator, is having a field day using Keith Byers because he can do so much. Here you just throw him a little ball in the flat, and he turns a little 3-yard gain into about a 9-10-yard gain. As you look at Rich Kotite, one of the fine gentlemen in the National Football League, he eats, sleeps, and breathes offensive football. And if you watch his offenses, they got a lot of imagination.
Cunningham throwing on first down. Pressure comes, slips the tackle of Brent Williams, and he has a blocker out in front. A first down for Randall Cunningham inside the 45. Williams almost had him in the backfield.
He does it so easily. He didn't even pay any attention to Williams, who almost tackled him in the backfield. Watch Randall here. Backs up. Here comes Williams right up the middle. He'll get a hand on him. Randall just, no, get out of my way. And now watch him follow his blocking here. He stays behind his blocker, dips in, dips out. Great running sense on Randall Cunningham. That slide thing is for somebody else, not for Randall.
Heath Sherman breaking the containment. Has another first down. All the way to the 31 of the Patriots. Good blocking, the way they sealed off that left side for Sherman.
Being around this team yesterday, you just had the feeling that they knew that they were a good football team. They just had not got it all together. Randall Cunningham told us that offensively, we just have not played a great game yet. Here, even though they struggled a little bit in the first half, they've come out like gangbusters in the second half.
Well, Sherman's got 84 yards now. Randall Cunningham with better than 70 yards on the ground. Byers with a long run as well, so they are approaching 200 yards against this Patriot defensive unit in rushing. Sherman takes more than one to bring him down.
It certainly does. When he hits a pile, people fly out of the pile. That's hard running. He runs in there, and you see a lot of white jerseys flying back out of there. Heath Sherman with a chance to play, showing that maybe I should play more often. Rushing yards in New England with 26, and Philadelphia with 172 yards.
So the ultimate for New England coming in. A productive day from John Stevens, and it has never developed. Keith Byers taking it down to the 25 for a gain of a little bit better than 3. Short of the first down by exactly that total 3 yards. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third quarter. And a 14-point Eagle lead.
Jim McMahon, the backup quarterback, signals in the plays that have been given to him by Rich Kotite. There's Jim McMahon, known for his hats and all kinds of things. He was out earlier today, warming up, kicking.
Cunningham on 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, wide open. It's Keith Byers. Touchdown, Eagles. There is a flag.
Randall Cunningham picks the flag up and puts it in his pocket.
It'll go against the Eagles. And unfortunately, Byers is still down in the end zone.
He took a whale of a hit as he went into that end zone. And
we have tripping on the offense, number 79, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 3rd down.
You see Randall Cunningham. Watch number 79. Ah, yeah. He did throw that foot out of there and tripped him. But a lot of times you never get called for a play like that. Just a strange little thing where you threw the foot out and caught him. And we'll be back right after this.
The best among the running backs regarding receptions. Keith Byers fortunately making it back on his own. Looks like he was just shaking up that left knee. Roger Vick taking over in the backfield. Joining Heath Sherman on 3rd and 13 now as we welcome you back to Veterans Stadium. Eagles by 14. Calvin Williams in motion. Cunningham with time. And Fred Barnett's got the reception, but he's short of the first down. Depending upon the spot, now they're going all the way back towards the 22 to put the spot there. He's close to the marker.
Great catch by Barnett. Coming back to make that play. Now the decision is, what are they going to do about this? They got 4th and they're going to go for it. And this is a good move by Buddy Ryan. This is a confidence builder here. You know, if you can't get a yard, and if you kick a field goal here, it's like you don't have any confidence in your offense. You're ahead in the football game. You're confident. Your offense is rolling. Heath Sherman has been excellent, but all of a sudden Randall Cunningham doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout.
Their first timeout.
So the Eagles stop the clock with 56 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll be right back for the decision on 4th down. Philadelphia by 14. It's been a tough day for John Stevens and the New England Patriots. You can see by the numbers, Randall Cunningham outgaining the 6th best rusher in the AFC coming into the contest with better than 400 yards on the ground. We bring you back to a 4th and inches situation outside the 22. Extra tight end LaBelle's in motion. Cunningham got him offside anyway. He's got the first down on the quarterback sneak. Couple of Patriots jumped early though.
Randall Cunningham able to make this work for him all day long with the hard count. Pulls the New England defense offsides.
Offside. Defense number 60. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And this is a play that you want to try and do this. That's the first thing you want to do, is try to draw them offsides and make it easy. Buddy Ryan sees that happen and gives him the old applause.
It's about as excited as you'll see Buddy get.
You got to get close to Buddy to hear him. Then you know how excited he is. One of the greatest coaches I've ever played for, Buddy Ryan.
It's down to the 17, 1st and 10. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Sherman with 5 to the 12. Sean Smith, the rookie from Georgia, making the hit.
And the reason I say that about Buddy Ryan is he has the ability to rally a team around him, to get them to play to their utmost ability. He's not a type of guy that's going to rip and rant and badmouth his players, because the guys that he goes with, those are his guys. Those are the guys that are going to take him wherever he's going. And once he pairs his football team down, that's the group. And they're all together. It's not coaches and players. It's an entire team together trying to go to the championship.
End of the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back after these messages from your local stations with the Eagles driving once again. Patriots off to their worst start in 20 years, and it's not getting any better this afternoon at Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers along with Ahmad Rashad. Patriots down by 14 coming in today at 1-6. Last time they got off to a 1-6 start, 1970. Eventually they went 1-9 to 2-12 to finish up the season. At 1-6 though, it cost their head coach Clive Rush his job. 2nd and short, 2nd and 5 for Heath Sherman and Randall Cunningham. It's down to the 8. 3rd and a little bit better than a yard. Tim Goad, the nose tackle, making the hit as we look at some 3rd quarter numbers, and the numbers tell the whole story here. Total yards offensively for the Philadelphia Eagles. What great balance. Well, it should be 435. Great balance today.
You know, one of the things that, in talking about this Patriot football team, they've got 27 new guys. 16 guys over 30 years old. Last year, now they've got only 6. New coach, new system, bad season.
3rd and a little over a yard. Calvin Williams has it. And he made it, coming back, turning it around. A difficult grab. A Xerox 10-minute ticker. Kansas City with another field goal. They needed it, though.
San Francisco all of a sudden rising to the Cajuns, 17-10 over Green Bay. Green Bay had led this game most of it.
Dolphins ready to raise their record to 7-1. Cincinnati has fallen on hard times recently.
But not Detroit.
No, Detroit's really starting to come on.
Cincinnati, you know, they complain so much of having all those road games. All of a sudden now they're at home and they can't do anything.
You're right, Ahmad. They had 5 straight road dates where they did remarkably well. First time an NFL team has done that, 5 straight away from home since 1936. And now all of a sudden they finally get back home, and look what happens. Losing by 14.
Well, there was an old saying that you can never go home again. I don't know who said that.
Only after 5 road dates.
Then you can't go home.
13:37 with the sounds of Jeopardy in the background.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's good.
Now, we'll give you the final Jeopardy question in just a second. Let us know what you're going to wager. No wagers. Take them off the table. Here we go. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Cunningham throwing to a wide open Keith Jackson. Touchdown, Eagles.
When you are able to pound the ball in the interior of the line as well as Philadelphia has done, and then you take Randall Cunningham, who fakes it into the middle of the line and fires to a freed up Keith Jackson, that is just excellent offensive football. Great play call.
Ruzick in for the point after. 14 points on 2 possessions in the 2nd half for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Keith Jackson's just able to get wide open in the end zone, makes the catch.
It looked like the Patriots were going to make a game of it at one point late in the 1st half, but ever since that point, a couple of minutes left in the contest, it has been all Philadelphia. So they lead it now by 21, 34-13. Sammy Martin, Marvin Allen waiting for the kickoff from Roger Ruzek. It'll be Sammy Martin from the goal line. And a lane for Sammy Martin. He spun down crossing the 32. So we look back at that touchdown, and great deception by the Eagles for Jackson to be that wide open.
Well, the Eagles have been pounding the ball into the line. Great fake there by Randall Cunningham, and Jackson is just wide open in the end zone. And once again, Jerome Brown says, I'm getting on the field one way or the other. And there he goes, swinging his victory string. Just sort of jogs off the field. Ah, yeah, nice. I give him a 3 on that.
You know, I thought I heard something shake up here a little bit. I just felt a little ripple. It must have been that from Jerome. Unfortunately, an injury on the special teams to Shaw of the Eagles. Ricky Shaw in his 3rd year from Oklahoma State. Tommy Hudson talking it over.
Smiling.
Steve Grogan, the past and the future of the New England Patriots to your left and right. The future with Hodgson.
I find very little to smile about at this point, unless they told him he's not going to play.
That's the bottom line. He hasn't been in there. That's why he's still smiling. Wilson throwing with pressure. And it's the rookie McMurtry out of Michigan with the reception, his first of the afternoon. A 3rd-round draft pick this year. He's got to be feeling great about playing in New England, not about the way it's developed this year with the Patriots. But Greg McMurtry, a former Massachusetts High School Player of the Year, as a senior in Brockton, Massachusetts. But it's been a long start to his rookie campaign.
I don't know if anybody's happy playing in New England with a 1-6 on the way to a 1-7 record.
John Stevens into the secondary where Ben Smith corrals him.
This is the toughest time to play right here because they're so far behind.
First down on the run by Stevens, who gets it over to the left side. He's got 5 down to the 41.
All of a sudden now, the New England Patriots trying to still establish some sort of consistency here by just taking the ball on the ground and running it. I guess they're trying to keep away from having any sort of a turnover, and the cheer that you hear is for Keith Byers, who's leaving the field with a big bag of ice on his knee.
2nd and 5 for Wilson. He's flushed out. Going the opposite direction. Irving fires, got it. And he's inside the 15 with a first down. The Patriots down by 21. Threatening. With still 11 1/4 left in the 4th. Nice throw by Mark Wilson.
Even though Philadelphia is ahead in this football game, you still look for consistent things to happen. You want your defense to keep pouring it on. The season will not get any easier. And when you're playing, it's situational. You have to play every single down. You can't go like, well, we're way ahead and we can lighten up a little bit. You got to keep coming.
1st and 10 from the 14. Wilson for Marv Cook. Breaks the tackle to the 10. He'll take it in. Touchdown, Patriots. And very quickly, they're within 2 touchdowns if they convert on the extra point. He beat Wes Hopkins. That did not take long.
It is not a good sign. The defense cannot afford to let down and let these Patriots get back into this football game. And it's a good sign for the Patriots that they have not given up. See Tommy Hudson. Now he's got a reason to smile. They got a score up on the board.
Extra point right on target from Starofsky. And we'll be right back with a tighter affair at Veterans Stadium. Still 14. The advantage for the Eagles as it's now tied for the worst record in the NFL. The New England Patriots coming in today at 1-6. You got to give them credit. They are not quitting, despite the fact they were just a couple of minutes ago down by 17. They have cut the deficit to 14 on a touchdown pass from Wilson to Marv Cook.
Just because they haven't won games lately doesn't mean they haven't played well. It just means that they didn't play well enough long enough.
It'll be Marvin Hargrove on the kickoff by Skarovski. And Hargrove gives the Eagles good field position for the third possession of the second half. Second-year man from Iowa collected the touchdown for the Patriots.
And Mark Wilson hitting Cook. And the play is over right now. You can't make that tackle. It's a touchdown. That's a very tough tackle to make in the open field. And Cook did a great job. Start, or will it be Mike Pagel?
I go with Bernie. Heath Sherman on the carry. Out across the 30 to the 31. Close to the 32. Brent Williams in on the stop. Does not get very easy in the second half of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why many of their fans were upset over the start they had this year, 0-2, losing to Phoenix at home, then losing a couple of weeks later to Indianapolis right here, because during a 6-week stretch for Buddy Ryan and his team, they play Washington starting this Monday night, actually. The Redskins right here, then at Atlanta, the Giants here, at Buffalo, at Miami, and finally Green Bay back here. That is a tough 6-game run for Philadelphia. Heath Sherman following his blocking. He's out close to a first down and short by a little over a yard.
There are no easy Sundays in the National Football League. I think the last dominating team that I can remember was the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they dominated every week. But now you got a game on your hands every single week, no matter who you're playing. I guess that didn't make sense. You got a game on your hands every week, no matter who you're playing. You got a tough game on your hands every week, no matter who you're playing. As we look at Heath Sherman, goes over 100 yards for the day.
In his first career start, subbing for the injured Anthony Toney. Fred Barnett in motion. Sherman, second effort, gets him the first down. That's been the story behind Sherman all day. He does not go down on the first hit.
Buddy Ryan told us that among all his good running backs, he thought that Sherman might be the best pure runner. And we have seen that today. Here he hits it up in there, can't find any room, bounces it outside, and continues to go forward for the first down. That's just excellent running. Buddy Ryan likes that kind of a effort.
So added depth in the backfield for Buddy Ryan behind Anthony Toney to help spell Toney. But Byers usually in the backfield as well, but Byers already into the locker room. He just joined us with a bruised knee. Sherman works as a single set. And on first down with flags down on the play. It's out to the 47 for a gain of 4.
The offensive line of Philadelphia playing an excellent game. They really are coming off the ball hard. Opening holes, protecting Cunningham. Just a good job by that offensive line. They never get enough credit.
There was yellow down. It was picked up. No flag on the play. Under 8 minutes left in the fourth. A 14-point Eagle lead. They're grinding it out now. That's been the story in the second half. They've only had it 2 times before this. They've both been long drives, time-consuming drives that have resulted in touchdowns. Mickey Schuler stopping. Randall Cunningham wants to carry it. He's got the first down on second down. And then some. Cunningham down the sideline. He'll score.
The power. That's exactly what Randall Cunningham had today.
You'll have to go way back to find out the last time the Eagles had 2 runners over 100 yards on the day, but that's the case today with Randall Cunningham over 100 yards on the ground, and Heath Sherman the same. Bruce again for the point after. So 3 possessions in the second half for the Philadelphia Eagles and 3 touchdowns as they put it away with the last one on a long run by Randall Cunningham. It's now a 20-point lead. Make it 21 for the Eagles. 7.5 to play. A 52-yard touchdown run by Randall Cunningham. puts him over the 100-yard mark on the day. And I was talking about the last time the Eagles had 2 over the century mark on the ground. You have to go all the way back to December 17th, 1978, Ahmad. It was Wilbert Montgomery and Mike Hogan. Right a day offensively for the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got to be close to 500 yards now in total offense, right around the 500-yard mark.
Heath Sherman reminds me a little bit of Wilbert Montgomery. Same sort of running style. Heath may be a little bit larger than Wilbert, but that same slashing, hard nose running style.
So it's a runaway now for the Philadelphia Eagles. So we welcome you back to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers and Ahmad Rashad. Allen and Martin waiting for the kickoff from Ruzek. Martin out of his own end zone. Good coverage by the special teams.
Now, we talked about Richie Kotite's offense being one of those neat on. Watch these 2 guys. Now, Calvin Williams saying, nope, you hold it. Then all of a sudden, here comes Mickey Schuler. It's like, no, you stay there. And then Cunningham says, you know what, I think I'm just going to take off around this end here and see what I can do. And at this point, he starts lifting them up and down, doing that Carl Lewis that impression, and just runs all the way into the end zone and throws the ball up into the stands. There's Mickey Schuler, the stop-go guy, and there's Randall Cunningham. Jim McMahon is warming up on the sideline.
Wilson staying in at quarterback with pressure. Gets rid of it. Pryor almost had it. As Eric Allen never turned around to find out where the ball was. Wilson taking another shot.
Reggie White right on top of Wilson as he let that ball go.
I think Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, made a very sound decision this afternoon, not bringing in Tommy Hudson.
I know Tommy Hudson's probably happy about that because they have put so much pressure, and Mark Wilson hasn't played that badly. I know that we're supposed to see Hudson sooner or later, and he's probably a little antsy, probably wants to play. I've just never seen anybody spoon-fed throughout the entire season. I mean, at some point you got to put him in and let him play.
Thrown behind Irving, or make it Cedric Jones. Well, next week for the New England Patriots, they take on the Indianapolis Colts at home. So we may see Hudson eventually get to start next week for the Patriots.
Cedric Jones on a stop pattern. He expected to go in, while Mark Wilson expected him to go out, and Cedric a little miffed by that play. It didn't matter which way when he was covered either way. If they had 2 defenders on him, maybe there was another player open somewhere else on the field. As you can see, their third down conversion, they're 1 of 9.
Unfortunately for the Patriots, though, it stopped the clock. Cedric Jones on the tip pass that it was a completion out to the 30. That ball looked like it was deflected on its way.
Now both quarterback and receiver are on the same page. Mark Wilson here looked like the same pattern, just a little stop pattern by Cedric Jones. Tipped by Byron Evans, but right into the hands of Cedric Jones.
So some room to work with now. They started back at their own 11-yard line with it. This time it's Greg McMurtry. Another first down from Mark Wilson. Time now for the 10-minute ticker. Kansas City still clinging to that 2-point lead, trying to hand the LA Raiders under their second loss of the season.
And San Francisco put the old accelerator down. They now lead Green Bay 24-13.
They have outscored Green Bay 24-3 since trailing 10-0. And look at New Orleans did at Cincinnati. Washington coming back against Detroit. Jets pulling away from the Cowboys. And that's over now, as well as the Steelers win over the Atlanta Falcons. Wilson in trouble. Flags down where you normally see the hold. Simmons into the stop, the sack. Tough day for New England quarterbacks.
Tougher day for the New England offensive line. Of course, when the offensive line has a tough day, the quarterback probably has the worst day.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. Penalty is declined. Second down.
At this point, I'm sure that Mark Wilson would prefer a holding than to let the guy go and let him nail him.
It's called on Stan Clayton in his third year from Penn State. Ahmad, you talk about the Patriots offensive line. It's comprised of Paul Fairchild, normally a guard, at the center spot now because of injuries. Guard positions, 2 Plan B signings, Danian Johnson and Chris Gamble. Right tackle is Danny Villa, who spent the preseason at center as John Stevens carries the ball. And then the one that they like the best, that has the best future, is Bruce Armstrong. And prize money. It's next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on NBC. Wilson on 3rd and long. Going for the country, and it's intercepted by Wes Hopkins. Hopkins looking for blocks, lateraling it to Byron Evans. Evans getting a block from Seth Joyner. Memories of Sanford Cal. But the band wasn't on the field yet. Look at the little playground, Ahmad.
Great play. And I just can't understand why only defensive players use the lateral. Here you see Mark Wilson trying to go deep. Wes Hopkins makes a great center field play on the ball. Now this is a heads-up play. Brings it back across the middle of the field. Now he's looking for somebody to lateral it to. Great play. Watch this block coming up here by Joyner. Whoa, he levels him. And now Jim McMahon has entered the football game.
42 yards on the return. McMahon says, I'm happy to be here, but my guys need to hear the signals. His 9th year out of BYU. Roger Vick on the carry. Spinning. Good yardage. Down to the 21. We'll be right back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, but let's go to New York for an update with Bob Costas.
All right, Joel, coming up next after the Eagles-Patriots game, you'll see the Bills and the Browns, and that's Mike Pagel warming up. Apparently, he will start rather than Bernie Kosar for the 2-6 Browns against the 6-1 Bills, who need to win to stay tied with Miami atop the AFC East. Joel?
All right, Bob. Find it a surprise. Pagel getting the start over Kosar.
That's right. You picked Kosar a minute ago.
I like Kosar. I don't think quarterback is the only problem with the Cleveland Browns, just like the quarterback is not the crux of the problem with the New England Patriots.
It's only the focal point. That's all.
The pitch for Vick. Near the marker. Close to the first down. He's thrown out of bounds. Just short of the first down by Vincent Brown. 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in the contest. 41-20, the most points scored this year by the Philadelphia Eagles. Close to 500 yards offensively. They averaged 350 a game coming in, and it's over 500 now. The high for the year. Though plenty of season highs for Philadelphia against a Patriot defensive unit. It was ranked 24th on the year coming in.
I'm very much impressed with this Philadelphia offensive line. They have just manhandled this New England Patriot defensive line.
3rd and less than a yard. Movement on the line, flags into the air. Roger Vick's got the first down inside the 10. High-stepping his way. Fresh legs in there.
Roger Vick just hucking and bucking and barreling down the sideline, knocking over all kinds of New England Patriot players and cameramen. He almost took that camera stand out down there.
Offsides. Defense. Number 96. Penalty is declined. First down.
Watch Roger Vick just start. Now, watch he starts going forward. Them knees are up in his eyes. Takes out 2 guys, keeps going, takes out a cameraman. The man is dangerous.
McMahon in the reserves with an opportunity. Late in the second half of a blowout for the Eagles. 1st and goal outside of the 3. Vick. And Vincent Brown just barely had him around the ankle. The New England Patriots now, the Philadelphia Eagles, of course, have owned the second half. But the New England Patriots, their own worst enemies in the first half with all those penalties. They were given a couple of turnovers. Great field position by the Philadelphia Eagles. Couldn't get any points out of the 2 turnovers for Rod Rust and his coaching staff.
Rod Russ has not changed his expression since the last time I saw him about a year ago when he was at Pittsburgh. Same expression.
2nd and goal from the 1. Under 3 minutes left. Vick the single set. Brown with a big hit.
And Andre Tippett, just to make sure, comes in and just nails it. I am not going to say a word. I just want you to know how it sounds down there in that red zone.
And then they stand him up for Tippett to clean up.
That's when you're running back, you get tied up like you're trying to get on the ground, but they don't let you get on the ground.
3rd and goal outside the 1. Vick the only one in the backfield. Double tight end set. Vick on the pitch. Blocking out in front. He can't make his way into the end zone, though. That takes us down to the 2-minute warning. We'll see what the Eagles do on 4th and goal. Welcome back once again to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers along with Ahmad Rashad. Somewhat surprising the ease with which the Philadelphia Eagles have been rolling right through the New England Patriots defense.
It took them a while to get it going, but I think they realized in order to be a team that they want to be, they had to turn it on and play better in the second half. And maybe Buddy Ryan had something special to say in that halftime locker room, because when they came out, they were a different football team.
Yeah, they will go for it, of course. It's the game in hand, comfortably ahead by 21. 4th and inches. On 4th and goal. And it's Kenny Jackson in motion. Roger Vick once again the single set. Vick over the top. He's in. Touchdown Eagles.
Down there, you turn into a football player. If you can't get it in from that close, and you ought to be playing golf, which you guys will be doing quite a bit next week while you're in Hawaii for that Isuzu tournament.
Sunny Maui. And hopefully you'll be able to join us next Saturday on NBC Sports for the final round of the Isuzu Kapalua International. Well, Buddy Ryan definitely not going for the field goal up by as much.
Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. 1 down for a try.
Does that mean if it was Jerry Glanville, he'd go for the onside kick after this?
I don't think Buddy takes in personalities. He tries to beat everybody. A lot of times, though, on a penalty like this, it makes it an easier kick. When you're close to the goalpost, you got to get the ball up off the ground, straight up off the ground to keep away from a block. Here you got a little room to kick it straight off the tee, off the ground.
Bruzek almost has it blocked as he's hit. It'll be a penalty on the kickoff against the Patriots. They'll mark it off in the ensuing kickoff. 48 points on the board now for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Roger Vick running during this series like Roger Craig, goes up over the top and gets in for the touchdown.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. 15-yard penalty enforced on the kickoff.
And for Roger Vick, that is his first touchdown of the season. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFL is prohibited. Well, it's been good to have you with us for Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. I know the fans in New England don't exactly feel it's been a productive day for the Patriots. The day will come. They've got to find out, of course, about Tommy Hudson, because they have to make a determination. At the rate they're going right now, they're in competition for the #1 pick in the NFL draft coming up next spring, and they have to find out whether, if they have a draft choice that high, #1 or in the top 5, if they're going to go for a quarterback in the draft.
I don't know if they have the luxury of waiting much longer. I think that on a team like this, you got to find out who can play and who can't play in order to move forward. And that's probably exactly what they're going to do. Anytime you have a player like Steve Grogan, who would be an excellent backup, being the best quarterback that you have, and Steve Grogan, it would be a welcome addition to any football team that is a contender, because he is such a fundamentally sound quarterback, such an intelligent quarterback. But I think if you even talk to Steve, he didn't expect to lead this team the entire season, to be the first string quarterback. He wants to help out.
Taking over duties from Jerome Brown.
Let's see if he has the little roll at the end of it.
I think he was trying to spike it at Jerome.
They have taken picking up the tee to another level. What level that is beyond me.
You know, it all started in Houston with that svelte fellow.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
What was it, Mojo?
Yeah, Mojo. That's his name, Mojo. Go out there and catch it and then fall down.
George Adams taking it for 3. Another look.
Jerome Brown was in the game for at least a play. He just wants to play so badly. He goes in for one play and then comes out.
Green Bay coming right back at San Francisco, only down by 4 at home.
Detroit still leads Washington, and Pittsburgh got by Atlanta 21-9. I guess they'll continue to call Glanville Gary Grandview in Pittsburgh.
28-point lead. Stevens and the Patriots just want to get out of town. The exceptional pictures provided for us this afternoon by our producer Larry Cirillo and our director Dick Klein. This is the Eagles' biggest win offensively since a 52-10 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals when the Cardinals were in St. Louis back in November of 1981.
As we look at Buddy Ryan, whose confidence has never waned on this football team. I asked him this, he said, these are Buddy Ryan guys, and if you know me, you know I got some players. You have to win in this league as a group. You have to be a united, focused football team, and that's what I see from these Philadelphia Eagles, and I think that's all due to the credit of their head coach, Buddy Ryan.
Final play of the contest. Wilson for Cedric Jones. And that'll do it. So the Eagles, with their best day offensively of the year, 2 rushers over 100 yards for the first time since 1978. Cunningham over 100. Keith Sherman over 100. And for the very first time this year, a sigh of relief from Buddy Ryan as he waves to his counterpart across the way, because for the very first time this season, his team is at the 500 mark. The Eagles at 4-4 as the Patriots dropped to 1-7, tied for the worst record of the NFL coming in today with the Minnesota Vikings. Second half was controlled and owned by the Philadelphia Eagles. Randall Cunningham had better than 300 yards of total offense on his own.
He put on a clinic here today, and it was kind of nice to watch that. One of the greatest quarterbacks in the business right now.
That'll do it from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. For a Moderate Shot, I'm Joel Myers. Thank you for joining us as the Eagles dominated the Patriots, winning by 20.